This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston College.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this, this is the last show crew on ESPN Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. The sports program starts now. Football is happening. Last night, there was a field that got stormed because an upset took place when Duke beat the dog shit out of the Clemson Tigers 28-7, which only had 7 because of a punt being muffed. You're talking about dominance from Elco, Riley Leonard, and the Blue Devils that all of them seemed to have a belief that they were going to get that done.
Yep.
And then all of us who just assumed that that boy Dabo Swinney was always going to have a great team. Mm-hmm. Why? Because since that boy Dabo Swinney has been the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, they've had a team. Yeah. They've had incredible quarterbacks. They've been able to win games. They have 5 stars everywhere. This is an SEC school in the ACC. That's what Clemson is, because remember, that boy Dabo Swinney learned from Nick Saban in the SEC. This is an SEC. Are they dead?
Uh-oh.
Feels like it.
It might be.
We saw Florida State.
Yeah, good luck.
Florida State beat the shit out of LSU, and Florida State looked very good. Very
good.
fast. Very, very fast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very tough, very strong. They felt very good. Then you also think about North Carolina. Mm-hmm. North Carolina, what they did to South Carolina, they got Drake May. Let's assume they're going to be a little bit better. Then you start looking at Clemson, and you start looking at the hierarchy of the ACC. It's like, whoa, buddy. What does the future look like, too? And everybody's saying, well, Clemson refused to use the transfer portal in the fashion that other schools are that are having a lot of success. Will that boy Dabo Swinney go ahead and turn it around to catch up with the modern day? We'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
This could be a bad year for Clemson, though. They looked bad last night.
Really bad.
And Cade Klubnik, a guy that I really appreciated and really liked and thought that he was going to come into his own, number 1 dual-threat quarterback out of the country 2 years ago. Now, that's Shedeur Sanders, I believe, year as well.
Well, right.
Which we just watched.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
We just watched him throw for 500 and some, whatever the case. So I thought he was going to. He didn't. Riley Leonard sold the show, and then after the game, he was like, "Excuse me, Professor Taylor Smith, Jackson Johnson, whatever the name of the professor was, can you please delay the homework being due at midnight because I believe our game ran a little long and Field Storm it was hard to get out.
Yeah,
sorry about it. That's Duke though. That's the difference, and that's a problem for Clemson. We'll talk to Kirk Herbstreit today about 1:10, about an hour and 5 minutes, about his thoughts on it. Remember, his boys went to Clemson.
That's right.
He knows Dabo. He knows Clemson. He's seen them win national championships. There's a lot of things to chat about with Kirk Herbstreit, especially after this electrifying week 1 of college football happened. Shout out to Labor Day taking place. Shout out to the NFL being a couple days away. There's still some drama around the NFL that we're going to have to chat about, and there's a lot of other shit going on. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the hammer, Dahn Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. The other half of the hammer, Dahn Cowboys Bubba Gumpino is here. And 14-year NFL icon Pac-Man Jones is here. Pac, you look super fucking cool today.
Great.
Appreciate it, brother.
Did you see this? Snap on.
Yeah.
Smell me? Oh, no way. Rip them off.
Snap off
Tear
pants
away.
right now.
Yeah. Tear them away for what's below.
No, we don't got levels to this. We don't have layers to that fashion.
Well, you're not wearing shorts underneath? That is a rookie move, my
Commando.
friend. You're going to get pantsed.
Hey, those were, because they're not normally the tightest up top because they can't be because half it just splits in half.
Yeah, you can yank them.
So normally those things do fall down. That was our generation, I think.
yeah.
The tearaway snap
yeah.
downs. I mean, that was an incredible time. And then obviously, I think Val Venus used to.
Yes, he did.
Just go ahead and start that. And once we saw Val Venus do his thing with his hips, and that, those snap-offs were never viewed the same way.
They cut his
They
penis.
were.
They had a little fashion.
Ladies.
There it is. Yeah.
They cut his
That's right.
penis off, actually, on the one night.
He grew it back, though.
Yep.
But what did happen was I don't think people ever wore those again. So now I'm getting to see them.
They're coming back.
It feels good.
Okay.
It feels
Oh,
good to
comfy.
see those again. It's a nice little taste of nostalgia. And if you need to make something happen in a jiffy, we are in there. No problems. Good for you. With the chucks, too. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good look.
Hey, you look good today, Pac.
You smell me?
Just don't fall, because you land on those buttons, it fucking hurts.
Nice.
Ooh,
On
yeah.
the knee, on the outside of the knee.
Yeah.
Never really think about falling,
Well,
It's
you
never
should.
been a problem. I'm pretty balanced.
Well, you are getting older. You're getting a little older.
slower.
Faster.
Something to think about.
Faster.
4.51, you are faster than most
Felt
older
good
people.
today.
Slower for
7
you.
minute mile,
You ran over here?
Yeah.
Fox ran 6:44 today. I heard it. Right? Fox,
Yes, sir.
do you go on the one that doesn't have any control on it? The
No.
bent one? Or do you go on the normal trip?
The normal one.
So he runs on the sprinting one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different there. It has no brakes. That thing's just all gas.
I'm so used to it at this point, I kind of forget.
I honestly,
Let's go, fuck.
It kind of terrifies me a little bit to get on there.
Yeah. It does.
I feel like I'm gonna tear an ACL.
Yeah, you're just going to keep running, then you're going to fall.
But Foxy's on there every single morning.
Yeah,
Just
it moves
striving.
good.
125 pounds, but he's been doing arms and stuff.
That's right.
Because he has a little brother who's like a more handsome, jocked version of him.
Taller,
He's literally bigger beard,
taller, better beard.
more jocked. His hair's a longer hair.
More
Some
charming.
things never change, you guys. I've heard this my whole life about my little brother.
This is
He's
the first
been
time I've ever had
is the
said
first
it out of
time
my
we've done
mouth.
it.
Yeah,
my entire life since we were this tall. Everyone's like, "Wow, that's your bigger brother." No, it's not. That's my little brother.
No, he might be your younger brother. Yeah, is what you're saying. What is his name?
Ben.
Ben's a dog, dude.
He's a dog.
Ben has fucking traps.
Yeah.
We're talking.
Yes, he does.
Ben is like he's like Fox is like the H&M model of the family.
Yeah,
I call it the
sure.
mannequin.
Yep.
Okay, this motherfucker had no muscle tone,
Well,
but he
mannequin-
is the mannequin. Nah, not those H&M ones. You ever see them?
True.
Yes.
I've never been in there.
Under Armour.
They got
I
those.
actually
Yeah,
don't
you're
know.
talking about like the sports stores. The H&M ones are just like
Okay.
in there. He's like the Under Armour
Yeah.
mannequin.
Yeah,
Tractor
basically.
Supply.
Yeah, bingo. That's who he is.
His
It is
middle initial
unbelievable.
is-
Yeah, O lineman,
M.
D lineman in high school. So
I will say this about the Fox family. All of them hilariously handsome. Like fucking hilariously attractive looking for a white face.
Yeah.
So then this one neighbor boy, who I don't know what his name is, you'll probably know who it is. I was talking to Ben and I think the other one, and
Yeah.
clearly just looked exactly like Fox. This was my first time getting a chat with him. And then there was this other one, clearly not a Fox.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm the other brother. Huh? And I'm like, no, you were not.
Well,
no offense to you, but you are not a Fox.
no, he's not.
Yeah, with what we were talking about here, I'm talking about just a chiseled fucking jawline. His hair is just whatever. And then this guy who looks a lot more like me or Connor was like, I'm like, you are not. Okay? No offense to you. Your family's awesome, though, Foxy.
Yeah, my older brother actually skinnier than me too. Believe it or not.
well,
He also talks a little bit more shit. I do believe he's a bit more toxic than Evan.
10 million times
Yeah.
more
I'll
I'll
toxic.
pick that up as
Yeah.
well.
I could
Very
go on
quickly.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about his golf game and about how he just ruins Evan in about hole one or whatever. I'm like, oh, this guy
That's
guy.
not
yeah, it
true.
goes.
This guy's a little bit different than Evan is, but your family is fantastic.
Appreciate
and I
that.
don't know where we were headed before that, but I do know the Lions are kicking off the NFL season
Yes, they
on
are.
Thursday
Here we
night
go.
Come
against
on.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to talk about MCDC being a part of the Manning Cast audition
Yep.
and crushing it just like everything else he's ever done. I would love to chit-chat about Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid building another dynasty that we're going to talk about forever, much like we're going to celebrate this weekend with Tom Brady going back to New England for the first time as a fan
yeah.
and I assume getting everything fucking retired and everything that's going to happen. That's going to happen with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid at some point in Kansas City, and it's going to be an incredible day whenever that takes place. But that's not what the conversation is. No. Chris Jones, not there.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Chris Jones, though, just tip of the iceberg whenever you start looking into it, whenever you talk about a little defensive drama. Okay, so Chris Jones is Defense Player of the Year candidate. He is not with the Kansas City Chiefs. Defense Player of the Year, Bosa, not with the San Francisco 49ers. Christian Wilkins, dog for the Miami Dolphins. He is currently holding in. Is that still the case, Gumpy?
He's playing. He's good to go week one.
Okay, so they
He's
figured
in.
that out. He's no longer mad
They
about
just
it?
didn't get a deal done in time, and
Oh, okay. Well, I guess.
we'll circle back in the
Training
offseason.
camp's over.
Circle back.
All right, I guess. I mean, if we weren't going to pay me, I wasn't going to do all that bullshit. But
Yeah, right.
I guess I'll play the regular season, though. So I appreciate Christian Wilkins figuring that out. Clemson guy. Ugh.
Yikes.
Met him down at Clemson. That might have been the last time Clemson had a good day. Chris Jones, Chandler Jones now, we're finding out, might be in the middle of a situation with the Raiders.
What?
This has not been talked about at all. Obviously, Chandler Jones is this guy who's just a specimen, comes from a family of specimens. You're talking about the greatest fighter of all time is one of his brothers. His little brother, Arthur Jones, won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens. He is just an absolute freak show and has over 10 sacks in like the last 15 years straight. That's just how he does it. He's posted some shit on his Instagram stories that made us go, wait a minute.
What's going on?
over
What's
there.
going on?
What is going on over there? They won't let me in the building, though. Trying to provoke and I would assume there's a word there that I cannot say.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking
Now
about?
I do. Yeah, I thought it was just blank, like you fill it in.
Oh, he was like, hey, whatever you're thinking.
Yeah, Mad Libs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think it was probably
You know what he said. I know what he said, but
what?
What
it
was
was not trying to provoke a N.
a guy?
Oh, what was that?
What?
A N word.
No.
No.
That's what you think that said?
Definitely
not
what
okay.
it is, buddy.
Whoa.
I thought it said guy.
Yeah, me too.
Provoke
That's what I
a guy.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was like,
Definitely
I
not
don't
guy.
want to, because I don't want him to be offended by me saying he's just a normal guy.
Right.
Because he's not normal guy.
No, he's
Speak
not.
for him. I know exactly what he's saying.
Trying to provoke
Hold
a
on,
dog.
hold on. So you're telling me he says, they won't let me in the building, though, trying to provoke a...
No.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Okay.
What?
All right, that's good journalism.
Okay, yeah.
People say we don't have that.
Got to the bottom
Didn't
of it.
see that.
So quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, because you can't see it.
Yeah.
Because they...
Well, it looks like it's 4 letters, like dog, not anything
With a
that has
W and a G.
Yeah, not anything that has more than 4 letters.
Yeah.
All right, well, now that's figured out. I guess what he's talking about, though, is there's some sort of situation going on with the building and Chandler Jones not being able to get in, not being able to get a hold of somebody, not being able to talk to somebody. 20 hours ago, though, he posted that he got him both Tom Ford sunglasses.
Yes.
Both Josh McDaniels and the general manager. So I have no idea if they're in the middle of a negotiation and like things were going good. We almost got a deal done. Let me go get some shades. And all of a sudden things went bad. I don't know if there's actual personal petty beef going on. I don't know if something happened quickly, like what allegedly happened with Darren Waller and Josh McDaniels, where Josh McDaniels gave away, I think, allegedly where Darren Waller and Kelsey Plum were getting married.
Yep.
And they were like, we hate this guy. This is not how this is going to go down. This is a very interesting thing that just, fuck it. I don't want to play for the Raiders if that's my head coach or GM. I want Patrick Graham, Ivy League. Whoa!
Oh, my God.
That might have been it.
With the salute emoji.
5 letters. You were doing the math there. You were doing the math.
Yeah.
So you thought it was 4. You misread it.
Yeah, you did,
It
buddy.
was 5 letters.
Yeah, that's what.
But anyways, what is it? What? And I would like to ask the Raiders people. We understand that we have an East Coast bias, and the Raiders, the only conversation we genuinely had was about Jimmy G not being healthy enough to fulfill his obligations as a starting quarterback for their team. And then Devontae Adams said, I don't know what the hell they're doing over here.
Yeah.
So that's some negative stuff. We apologize for that. We hope you have a great year. Josh Jacobs is back. That's good news.
Yeah.
But this particular case, I did not know this was happening. Did anybody know this was taking place? And what do we think is popping off, Adam?
It came out of left field, but he is pissed about something.
Yeah, I don't know how this is. It a deal money thing? He said he won't let him in the
Contract
building.
seems
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense. And yet, to Dixie's point, like he's been paid a couple times. Is this possibly just McDaniels as a head coach isn't as successful as before? Because this is his second stint, and again, it's going sour.
I honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, Mark Davis forgot to pay the electric bill again, and his key fob didn't work, and it's just like, what the fuck's going on? But really, gotta go dinner, guys.
Bingo.
And he forgot to pay the electric bill.
Because out in Vegas, too, a lot of 5-star restaurants, so he's going to have to go to dinner a lot.
Exactly.
Well, they've got a lot of rain recently, so maybe Al was dealing with some flooding at his house, and he probably pays the cell phone bill.
Al's passed away.
Well, rest in peace.
Rest in
now.
peace.
Al's
Rest-
Speaking about
sorry.
Davis, Michael Lombardi will be joining us in about 5 minutes. or
Hell
so.
yeah.
And I believe he worked.
Probably
for
pays the cell phone bill, though, for the GM and for the head coach, too. So maybe that's the issue why they're
It's
not.
been tough to contact them.
Yeah,
that
So I
makes
do
sense.
love the fact, and Raiders fans are going to hate this, that immediately upon something like this happening, we go, oh, the ineptitude of the building is what is the actual problem here, because that could be the case. But also, why would this be a case? Josh McDaniels doesn't feel like a guy who would ever want his players not to get extra work in,
No.
right?
Yeah, definitely not.
That would be the complete opposite of what we think of Josh McDaniels. I
Yes.
think Josh McDaniels is known for a lot of things. I think being an asshole is one of them. And normally it's like work, not be a human, work. Can't communicate with people, can't let people know your actual feelings, can't get something point across without coming across as just like a robot. I think that's what people think of Josh McDaniels. Now, he and Tom Brady had a great relationship, but he as a head coach with Denver did not end up well. Nope. I mean, then there was other things and situations. Now he's out here. So it's like him wanting to get extra work feels like a weird thing for him to get mad about. But if that is the case, hey, let that guy work.
Yeah.
Work.
It was Labor Day yesterday.
Yeah, he wanted to work on.
Okay, you let a guy work if he wants to work.
Please.
And let Chandler know we're on your side. If you want to get better and they're not letting you, fuck them. But also, let's bet against a team that's not letting anybody get better.
100%.
Okay, that's a little bit of an issue.
Gonna have to.
That's how we had to think about the Bengals for a while when they didn't have an indoor facility.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
guys don't really want to get extra work whenever it's 4 degrees and maybe it's snowing sideways. You think guys will go get extra work out next to that fucking road? Or you think maybe they'll say, yeah, tomorrow we'll see if the weather's better? Where guys who have an indoor facility are like, I'm going to go run 30 extra routes. I'm going to go hit this thing. I'm going to go do this because I have the opportunity. It's here. So if Chandler Jones wants extra work, they won't let him go. What are they doing? Is this the pros? Is this the highest level? What are we doing?
The timeline makes no sense either. Like, how could, like, if they were negotiating for a while, you would think that we would have heard about this a little sooner, as opposed to, like, he's going and buying them very nice sunglasses from Tom Ford, and then the next day he's like, fuck these guys, I don't want to play here anymore. Like, that just that makes no sense. And you would assume McDaniels, like he was the OC, but like they spent time together in New England too. So he says in one of those posts like, "Hey, I've known my head coach and GM for a long time. Like they've known me since I was a kid." So it's weird that things would go sour so quickly.
Yeah, I hope everything's okay.
Right at the season.
For sure.
We only got 4 or 5 days for the game.
Yeah.
And they traded for him too.
Yeah.
Like they went out and got him from Arizona. That was one of their first moves, I thought.
Joining us now is a man who might have the information for this. Obviously, he's been a general manager in the NFL. He's been a consultant in the NFL. He's an author. He's a TED talker. He's a podcast host. He's a live show host.
Yeah.
He's a friend of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Lombardi.
Yeah!
Lombo, we'll dive into this being a massive day for you and how incredibly proud we are of you for releasing Football Done Right. His most recent book is available today. We'll dive into this later. Let's talk about what's going on right now here. So this Chandler Jones stuff ends up on his Instagram story, and obviously we've been talking about defensive drama. You know, you got Bosa, you got Chris Jones, you have Wilkins having a thing, Brian Burns in Carolina. Now Chandler Jones' name has popped into the stratosphere because of an Instagram story, and this popped up about him not being able to get in and do extra work, and the text message, I don't know who he's texting there, but there's certainly some interesting messages from top to bottom there. But then you look 20 hours ago, he was buying Tom Ford sunglasses for the head coach and the general manager on his Instagram story. Do you know anything about this, and what could this be about, and how did we get here? We had no idea there was anything brewing
I didn't have any idea there was anything brewing either, and I usually talk to my son on the way to work in the morning, and of course he only tells me about the grandchildren, so I don't hear about much what's going on in the building. I can't tell, but here's what I do know. I think everybody's waiting for Nick Bosa's contract to get done, because it's going to set off a lot of interest in terms of where this is going. We know TJ Watt got $28 million a year. He got as close to Aaron Donald as you can get. He got $80 million guaranteed. Myles Garrett's at 25. So I think what all these ends are waiting for is the reestablishment of the market for Nick Bosa. Now, the Chandler Jones one, sometimes it never always goes as planned with Chandler Jones. So you always have to be a little bit wondering what's happened, because one minute he was happy, today he's not.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We hope everything's okay, too, because you also have to think, like, maybe he's just going through something right now where he's pissed off, so we hope he's okay. Not that could be the case, and maybe there's this whole story that we had no idea was brewing behind the scenes, and we hope everybody ends up with everything they want.
Exactly. Good luck out there.
Yeah.
That's what we hope happens out there, and obviously that won't be the case, but let's go with Brian Burns. He's holding out, and you just alluded to it there with Bosa, and then now, obviously, Chris Jones and the Chiefs are allegedly, this is just being reported on the internet, who knows what's real. Allegedly, Chris Jones and the Chiefs way off. Bosa and the Niners close. Do we know if that's real, and what does that actually mean?
Look, I think the Bosa deal's real because it's not a hard contract to do. The conversation centers on a couple factors. Are we going to pay you more than Aaron Donald? The contract is old. Aaron Donald's contract was done a while ago. So it's still $7 million higher than the nearest defensive tackle, right? Quentin Williams' deal, it didn't even come close to where Donald is. And Williams isn't the same player. He's great, but he's not Aaron Donald. However, that being said, it's kind of an older contract. So the Bosa deal is, look, are we going to pay you more? We know TJ Watt's deal came in at $28 million. We know Myles Garrett's deal at $25. You know, can we settle this at 31? Is it 30? Is it 29? And then you get into the guarantee. TJ got $80 million fully guaranteed. Bosa's certainly going to get over 100. Some guys, you know, as we talked about last week with Kyler Murray's deal, the skill and the injury play a factor in the total guarantee. But I fully expect Bosa to get done. I have expected this for a while. It's not a hard contract to do. It's how much are they going to get close to Donald, or are they going over Donald?
Okay, and obviously then the guarantees, the Bosas have been pretty adamant business-wise about the guarantees, even whenever a contract is slotted like a draft contract. Well, the guarantees, we're going to max them out. The Bosas have been known for that. Hopefully they get it done. We're getting close, though, right? I mean, this is too close for comfort. You said it's an easy deal. We said it's an easy deal. Schefter said it was an easy deal. Rapport said it was an easy deal. Everybody said, yeah, it'll get done. It's just, this is how it goes. Bosa hasn't done a lot of training camps. He's played pretty good. So next question. Thanks. Trey Lance, we're trading him. Yeah, thanks. That's what Shanahan actually said. And now we're getting 4 days, 5 days. Why is it, there should be an urgency type thing.
Well, in these deals, you argue over language. Like, let's take Joey Bosa's deal. He argued with the Chargers. It wasn't the guarantee as much as it was the language of the payback of the guarantee. That's what held that deal up. and he got $100 million guaranteed. And so a lot of these times when you're in these negotiations, it's the disbursement of the funds that creates some conversations, and it takes longer. When are we going to pay you? Most people think the NFL has this bundle of cash sitting in the bank that they're just going to disperse, when in reality the NFL is they get their money when the TV pays. They get some money in August, September, October, November, December, and January. They get the bulk of their TV revenue, and that's the cash flow for NFL teams. And so when you pay out to the players, you have to be aware of your cash flow, especially considering if you did something in the offseason where you paid. And that becomes a little bit of a tenuous negotiation.
Okay, well, hopefully they're able to get it done. You think he plays this weekend regardless of when this deal gets done?
Today's Tuesday. If he's in by Wednesday, he plays. As long as the heat and humidity isn't a factor. Look, they're going to get him on the field. He'll be involved in forget downs. He'll be involved when Pittsburgh's in 11 personnel. He'll be involved in critical situations for the fourth quarter. That's going to be most important. As you guys know, having played the game, if you put him out there and he's not 100%, he ends up getting injured, and that's the worst thing that could happen.
Boom.
So you got to gradually bring him back into this.
Yeah, but we're assuming he's in shape. He's Bosa.
Yes.
You know, he's a jungle cat.
I mean, look, I could say this. I mean, most of these guys work out. They're not, like Josh Jacobs. He's been in camp. Will he play? Hell yeah. He's probably in really good shape to play. And so these holdouts sometimes are better for the teams because the running back's not going to get hurt. And Bosa wasn't going to play in the preseason anyway. It's like Joe Burrow. I mean, yes, he's got a calf, but he's going to play, and he'll play well. Last year he had 5 turnovers. They had 5 turnovers as a team. But they moved the football up and down the field on Pittsburgh. They just turned it over.
Okay, so I appreciate the silver lining there. Like, yeah, we had no opportunity to get Josh Jacobs hurt here in training camp, right? It wasn't even a question. Are we playing him in preseason? Hey, he's not here. We don't even have to answer that question. Now we got a healthy Josh Jacobs going in. Congrats to the Raiders. Hopefully the Chandler Jones situation gets figured out. The Bosa situation gets figured out. Sounds like what you're saying, though, about Chris Jones is that he's waiting on the Bosa deal to get done, you think? And then once that deal gets done, then they'll figure out where he falls in place there. And they're saying they're far away. What does that mean? What does that even mean?
Well, I think they're far away because Quentin Williams comes in at $24 million. And so they could give him a bump up to that number. But I think he wants to get a number that's above Aaron Donald, which is in that defensive end number. To me, TJ Watt at $28 million. So, look, this guy on the field last year was the most disruptive inside player. He was one of the best defensive players in the league last year. There's no one can argue that. 15.5 sacks, 48 quarterback hits. When you take him out of their defense, it's going to force Spagnuolo to run more of a zero blitz. He's going to have to put some pressure on him. And you can run the football on Kansas City now. And without him, it's going to be a completely different game. When you play Kansas City with Chris Jones at 3 technique, I don't think people understand how important a 3 technique is in the NFL. And they're not just in abundance, right? They're just not out there. They're like quarterbacks. They're hard to find. And when you have a great one, they're hard to stop. So you have to set the protection to this 3 technique. Without Chris Jones, you just come to the line of scrimmage and run whatever protection you want. There's a big difference of the game.
Yeah, it's easier to run some games whenever you got a 3 technique who commands attention in the middle of the offensive line. You can chip as much as you want, but you run out of numbers at some point whenever the focal point's in the middle. I hope they get it done. You think he's going to get traded, though? There was a little conversation this weekend that the team that you were used to be the general manager of was going to go ahead and trade for Chris Jones. The Cleveland Browns were going to go ahead and bring him in. You think Veach will have to move on, or you think this gets ugly enough for that to take place, or how do you think it works out?
I think different than Jonathan Taylor, everybody will pay Chris Jones. I think different than Jonathan Taylor, people will pay a premium to get him just because of the position, not because of anything other than we know there's a lot of running backs. There are no 3 techniques. This is completely an economic issue, right? Supply and demand. There's no 3 techniques. Look, as great as the Bucs were on defense, without the 3 technique, without the great Warren Sapp, they're not the same team, right? That's why Sapp's got a gold jacket, because that's what makes the defense. Pete Carroll will tell you in 2013 and 14, when they were 22-2 at home, it was because they had a great defensive front. And Michael Bennett at 3 technique was a disruptive force. And without that, they're not the same team. There goes home field advantage. They're 20-15 over the last 3 years. Wonder why you don't have a 3 technique.
Interesting. So Chris Jones knows that. which it sounds like he understands that, and hopefully he'll get paid because we're going to miss him on Thursday.
Yeah,
Big time.
We're going to miss watching this. You're saying there's only a few of these guys that exist.
Yeah.
The best one in the NFL we won't get to see Thursday night, but hopefully business-wise it'll all end up panning out. And my last one for you about a situation that you brought up on this show before the boys have the questions. You brought up the Kyler Murray contract situations. You alluded to it a little bit earlier, where there's like another $56 million guaranteed to Kyler if he was to get injured, if he comes back this particular season. And you said with looking at that contract, the way it's set up with where he is, you're assuming they're not going to play him. You think they're not going to play him. That got picked up by some other people, obviously became a storyline and all this. I saw this video of Kyler Murray walking last weekend, last Friday night, with the captains here. And I know he's coming off an injury and they're not expecting him to start now, but I mean, his gait looks a little bit slow. You know what I mean? He's talking to these ladies that you're a little speed walking. I don't know how far along he is. He's probably a few months out. But with all of this happening around him, with what you just said, they just named him captain yesterday. Okay, he's captain of the team. Yeah. And I think there were some inside sources saying we're going to play him. That is not a real thought. Everybody's been bought in to Kyler Murray. That's how they got their jobs. What do you think about that? And if you had to say right now, if you had to bet, let's say all of the money that this book gets.
Okay.
If you had to bet that. Now, I know you're not a gambling man. You just like giving everybody else information to gamble with. But if you had to do that, what would you say? Kyler plays or doesn't play this year?
I think he doesn't play. Just look at him walk there. First of all, lateral quickness is his game, right? You put him out there and he's not 100%. That's really on the club. That's not on Kyler. You can't risk that. And you and I both know, coming off an ACL, if you don't have your same quickness or speed, look at James Robinson. He was a really good running back for Jacksonville. Got the injury. He hasn't been the same since. You got to be really careful when you rush a guy back. And where I think the Cardinals will be when he could be medically cleared to play. See, here's the big difference. Being medically cleared to play and being able to play are two different things. The doctor can clear him, but can he play to the level that we're used to seeing him play? That, to me, is a standard that's above and beyond a doctor.
Okay, so you're thinking that he's just not going to make it back.
I don't think he could make it back, and if I were the GM of the Cardinals, I wouldn't want him to come back. And now, I will say this. If he acts like the leader of the team since he's been named the captain, and he's doing everything to be a great player and to immerse himself in the team, and he's on the headset and he's encouraging players during the week and he's doing all the things we want, I got no problem picking up the money because he's going to be the starting quarterback. However, that being said, look, you watched Drake May this week, and I was texting you. That kid's special, right? Caleb Williams is special. Michael Penix is really good. There's a Sam Hartman. Wow, we got a lot of quarterbacks. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Yeah, Sanders. Let's be honest, right? Like, there are a lot of quarterbacks, right? You got the first pick in the draft. These are business decisions. They're not emotional decisions, and you've got to make the right call. You know, if Caleb Williams was coming out last year, I don't think the Bears trade the pick. I just don't. I don't. And with these quarterbacks I'm watching, I can't wait for college football because every Saturday we're going to see a quarterback play that's really good. And I think that's going to drive it as well.
That's a very fascinating development there. You're saying that you don't think he's going to be able to be healthy or his best version of himself to get back. There's also a thought, like, what will their record be when he gets back? Yeah. And is it like, do we want to potentially risk the $56 million? But if they do that, then they're potentially pissing him off, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like the Derek Carr situation, then they have to move on. And then the news coming out of the building that when they were hired, they were all in on Kyler Murray. Like, that doesn't change the way you think at all? You don't think that's a part of or a stipulation of it all?
I think that's a PR statement. I think that's noise. I don't think that's accurate. I think, to me, if you take that job, you know, you've got to say, just like when Sean Payton took the job in Denver, he took the job basically saying, let me evaluate Russell. I know you guys signed Russell, but I'm going to make my determination on Russell as we move forward. I think the month of September will go a lot to that evaluation, right? I don't know where Sean would be at this point, but I think he's not locked in. It isn't like, okay, Russell's on the team, forget about it. I think it's the same thing there. You can't predispose these financial decisions, especially when you make a change in the coaching staff. Here's where I think people got a lot of things messed up. Keim and the owner, Michael Bidwell, they wanted Kyler Murray, and they hired Cliff to help coach Kyler. It wasn't Cliff came in and then brought Murray in. That people have this backwards. They wanted Murray, and they thought Cliff would be the right head coach. That's the difference. And now Keim's not there anymore, so things have changed.
That is a very interesting development because it's not like Cliff has any say. It's like, no, Cliff, you're here to make our guy that we want good. That is, and
That's right.
And when that doesn't happen, well, when they have a little bit of success, I guess they have 11 wins and they see development. They're like, all right, it's working. Let's pay you again. And then Kyler says, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, fuck, this is the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do. And then he's gone, GM's gone, and then now the new coach, new GM are in a situation where they got a contract from somebody else that they have to abide by. And you're saying, as a person that has probably been in this situation before, that's a PR statement. That's not very real. And once we get 2-3 months into this thing, and then once fans start seeing what's the potential and what's possibilities, they'll buy in with us as well. Let's just kind of move forward. Fascinating out there because he got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it was real loud. Real loud. Top 10 draft pick.
Yeah.
MLB and the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible athlete. Only had success. Literally, that's it. And then now, for whatever reason, it's not working out. I'm fascinated by it. And what will he become? You think he goes somewhere and becomes good?
I think the hard part is he's got to defeat the way people defend him, right? And so people rush him inside. It's what's happened to Baker Mayfield. When you attack him inside the paint, which is the area between the two guards back to the quarterback, if you get in front of Kyler Murray, he plays small, which he is. But if you allow him to make those beat plays where he's running right, running left, and that speed and that quickness in the open field with that gun that he has as an arm, then all of a sudden he becomes different. But if you go back and watch the Seattle game the last year before the playoff game and the Rams game, you watch those two games, the way people rushed him, the defensive coordinators that understand pass rush is really the only way to control great quarterbacks. They got it right. And I think that he's not been able to offset that.
I'm excited to see how Bryce Young handles it all.
Yeah.
Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Lombo, a place that is near and dear to both of our hearts, Foxborough, Massachusetts, is, bringing Brady back home this weekend on Sunday. And there's been a lot of stuff from both Tom and Bill just kind of talking about the relationship. From your experience, what are those two, kind of like, especially now that Tom is no longer the competitor in the league? And do you expect, maybe a retirement from number 12? Maybe, the Patriots have left a backup spot for Tom to come back and play, perhaps? What do you think we can expect on Sunday? And also just Patriots as a whole. Are we just going to fucking suck this year? Or what's kind of the expectation I should have?
Well, let's start the first thing. I mean, I've been around both of them in the meetings with both of them, and I think there's just tremendous mutual respect. I think Bill learned a lot about the quarterbacking position from Tom, and Tom learned a lot about culture and building a football team and how to win games from Bill. So I've never seen anything but mutual respect. And like in any relationship, there's always going to be highs and lows. This didn't work. Oh, shoot, we should do this. But I think it was based on mutual respect, and that's the only thing you can do. And I think the loyalty to one another, and loyalty is about telling each other what the truth is, right? Loyalty is about saying the truth. So I think they both tell each other the truth. So I think that's really, I think it's good. I think it's only going to get better because I think when Brady went to Tampa, I think Brady assumed, like a lot of us do, that everything that happens in New England happens at all 31 other places in terms of preparation, attention to detail, all that. And what he found when he got there, people are different. People do things differently. It's not all the same. And so when you're institutionalized like we are in that system, you look at it and say, whoa, wait a minute, this isn't what I'm used to. I think there's a greater sense of appreciation. As far as New England, I think their offensive line's got to come together early in the season. I think they're really good on defense. They're going to play better against these movement quarterbacks. They were 0-4 against them last year. But I think they're going to be good on defense. Stevenson's good. I think Zeke Elliott's got a little juice left in him because he's no longer hurt than he was last year. Look, it's going to be hard. The division's hard. Every game's hard. I mean, this is what I laugh about. People say, well, they got a hard schedule. Tell me what's an easy schedule.
Shit.
I mean, nobody ever it's like what I wrote about in the book. Like Marty Schottenheimer won 200 freaking games in pro football. Like 9 people on planet Earth did that. And yet this poor guy can't get a sniff to get in the Hall of Fame because he didn't win a playoff game or 2 playoffs. Like, give me a break. You know how hard it is? Like this whole nonsense, the schedule. Like I promise you, everybody in Baltimore's are tight because Arizona's coming to town. They're not sitting there thinking, oh, we're playing a lame dunk. We're playing a terrible team. They're worried about it. Everybody. You worry about every game every week.
Yeah, everybody's getting paid. Everybody has a salary cap. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be tough. And if you look at the teams that stink, normally they'll be in like 9-10 games, 1-score games where if they just so happen to pick up a fumble, let's say a center sneezes. while snapping the ball, and it hits his left ass cheek instead of straight back, and the quarterback misses it, and the D tackle scores a touchdown. Bang! These teams that are 2-15 potentially have like 4, which happens in football.
Oh, yeah.
All those things.
All the time.
To go back, hold on,
New
though.
England last year, we could go through 5 plays in New England season.
No, we're good.
And it would have changed their season. Connor knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, so they're not that far. You're not that far away. They weren't getting beat like Chicago, which was getting beat by an average of 8.5 points, or unfortunately like the Colts, which got beat by, those two teams were what I call 50-minute teams. They played well for 50 minutes, and then it fell apart.
Yeah, there's always going to be 1 or 2 plays that are going to get you. For the Colts, there was 4 or 5 a game last year.
Yeah.
For the Bears, there's more, which is good. That's why I said number 1 overall pick. Only way it can go is up, see?
Oh, yeah.
Only way it can go is up. I want to go back. You said that Tom's going to have a greater appreciation for New England because, he thought that everywhere was like New England. I think Bill probably too with Tom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
look,
I
you
can
gotta
make any
remember,
quarterback,
No, I think, look, the way that Tom behaves, his work ethic, his dedication, his ability to take his craft seriously like Peyton did, like some of the greats. I mean, this is a little bit of a, generations have come and gone since Tom Brady has had that long career there. And people are different. We have social media now. There's a lot of distractions. And I think there's certainly an appreciation for somebody who sees the way to compete the same way as those two guys have. I think that's hard to find today.
Yeah, I'm appreciative of the fact that we got to witness it.
Yes.
Still, and I think there's going to be more. Like what I learned about Drake May whenever I met him, not a social media guy, didn't even sniff at the 5 million thing.
Old school.
Don't even want to look at it. Just here, I want to play.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. Like, because when I hear that, I'm like, I hear a little bit of an old school fucking guy who has the body to potentially do it and the skill to do it. Then Deion talking about Shador, like the way he talks about Shador, how he acts, how he wants the ball. It's like, all right, we got a couple guys in a couple generations here that'll hopefully continue to carry the mantle because this young group, Burrow, Mahomes,
Allen,
Herbert,
Hurts,
feels like they're
Lamar.
like Hurts, certainly, Lamar. We got a good crew coming in. We got superstars on the way. It's a big deal for the league whenever that happens. But what Tom and Bill were able to accomplish, god damn.
But look at Hurts' career. I mean, he's a kid who got benched at a halftime of a championship game because he couldn't throw the ball effectively, and he changed his career. He went and all he did is keep his head down and work hard. Went to Oklahoma. He didn't. I mean, remember him on the sideline of that game, where he got benched and he's cheering on Tua. I mean, that says a lot about the character of the human being, and you have to applaud that. And I think that's something that goes into the evaluation process, and I think it does. On Deion, I think it's what's been told about Deion is I think Deion's weekend proved that he's really he's a great leader, and leadership matters for head coaches. And B, he picked a really good coaching staff, and he let those guys coach. Like he let that offensive, Sean Lewis, the offensive coordinator of Colorado, former head coach at Kent State, did a great job. The defensive staff, and I think what Deion understood was he's a great recruiter. He can pick talent, and he's also willing to let his coaches work and within the program, holds players accountable. He holds them accountable. And that's something that people are sometimes scared to do, but not Deion. Deion knows he's got that gold jacket. He knows the standard of excellence to be a great player and a great team. I applaud him.
Yeah, so everybody knows the standard, but a lot of people don't have the courage to withhold it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's right.
A lot of people just take the easy way out and go, oh, he'll figure it out. Oh, he can get away with it. To be a person who has the resume, has the gold jacket, wants the standard, knows the standard, but also says, not scared to have the uncomfortable, hey, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
That can't happen. Like that isn't something a lot of people have. And I do believe that that's been misunderstood about Deion since the entire thing has started. Even whenever he was back at Jackson State and we heard West Virginia was potentially interested. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, sign Deion. Let's get Deion as our head coach. And then you heard people that didn't really fully understand Deion. They're like, we don't need that type of ball. It's like, what is that type of ball? Right. What is that type of ball? Hardworking, winning, the little bit of moxie and swagger. Like that is like a perfect football team is what Deion's looking for. And boy, but TCU might suck, right? Let's see how they do Nebraska.
Yeah.
Let's see how they back it up, right? There's a young crew, brand new. Let's go in and back it up against Nebraska. I'm excited to watch it. Pac-Man has a question for you, Lombo.
With your experience with the Joe Burrow contract situation,
Well, Pac-Man, you played there, right? You know how Mike Brown is. And when Mike Brown says he's going to pay somebody, I think there's probably a short list of people that he's ever said that about, right? Yeah. I mean, you can amen me on that one there. And I love Mike Brown. I think Mike Brown's old school, and I love everything about Mike Brown, and I love about his father and all those things. So I don't think Burrow's the type of kid where he's going to let this bother him. I think he's got an agent to handle it. And when the agent says we got a deal done, then he's going to go in and sign the deal. But I don't think it's going to affect him. I think he's watching Jim Schwartz's defense of Cleveland. I think he's fully immersed in the season because he knows he's going to get paid. And Mike Brown has admitted he's going to pay him, has admitted this. So I don't think there's much to worry about. I think it won't affect him whatsoever. And I think what he's probably pissed off about is he turned the ball over 5 times against Pittsburgh in the opener last year, and they lost.
Well, I hope his calf is okay.
Yeah.
But if this thing does linger, the conversation's going to get loud about, are they able to afford him?
Oh, yeah.
Are they able to afford him? Because you talk about that.
See,
everybody thinks you just have a pile of money around the NFL. That's not how everywhere is,
Yeah, but Mike's smart. Mike, look, Mike understands that you have to pay for something that you can't find. I don't think they'll find the money. I mean, they'll find the money, just like Colorado decided they found the money for Deion. Sometimes you have to find the money. And I don't get the sense from Burrow. I think he's going to be like Kelsey, and he's going to be like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's going to be, look, I want a good deal, but I don't need to have everything, right? That's just my sense of the kid. I could be wrong.
$100 million in Ohio too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Not bad.
That'll go.
Not bad at all. There. Go ahead, Ty.
Lombo, when you going back to JT, it came out that like the Packers were potentially the mystery team. A lot of people were saying like, oh well, it's possible that the Colts still trade him, before the October 31st trade deadline. And we heard Shane Steichen say that in his absence, it'll kind of just be a running back by committee. Whoever's got the hot hand is going to get the most of the carries. But if you're Chris Ballard, do you think there's a chance after he comes off PUP that they are going to try to trade him this year? Or are we just going to be in the same song and dance, same situation come next offseason at this time?
Well, I think we'll be in the same song and dance next offseason. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they franchise him to protect their rights because he does have value. And I think he went out there and the agent, found out that what the market really is. And they never brought a deal to Ballard that was good enough for Ballard based on what the player thinks his value is. I know it's hard for the agent to recognize that, but look,
they were saying he was negotiating in bad faith. That's what they were saying. He wouldn't have accepted anything.
Yeah. Ballard. I think Ballard would have. I think he would have. Except why should he take a discount deal for a guy who's a star player?
Wow.
I didn't really believe the Green Bay one. When has Green Bay ever done that? When has Green Bay ever traded and then paid a player like that? Aaron Jones, they redid his contract. A.J. Dillon. Now, were they going to trade a back for a back? Maybe they would have done that. But I never got the sense that anybody was going to redo the deal.
How's that end? How's this end? How's it end? How's this end? How's it end?
He got to agree.
I think this is one of those things. Well, it ends if the Colts take a discounted. Look, everybody in the league would like Jonathan Taylor on their team for a third or fourth. Remember, the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl, what they traded for a running back, it gave up a 5th-round pick, Jay Ajayi, for a 5th-round pick from Miami or 4th rounder. Yeah. He came in and played really well, and then he was a free agent, right? Then he became a free agent. I mean, that was because Miami took the value of the deal and didn't want to wait for the compensatory pick. I don't think that's the case here. I think the value of the player, based on what the agent's telling the Colts, why should they take a less deal?
So then the other team who would take him on a $4 million deal, or would they just up how much they would give him this year and then he would be a free agent after this year?
He would be a free agent after this year, and whoever takes him would have the right to franchise him because in that rookie contract,
but wouldn't he do the same thing he's doing? I guess, is it just a personal thing with Indianapolis now, you think? Why?
Yeah. I mean, look, the agent has gone through the marketplace, right? And so is Austin Eckler. So is Barkley. So is Josh Jacobs. And, is there a tolerance to pay somebody $12 million a year? Yeah, I think there is. I think somebody will pay $12 million a year for a running back. Will somebody pay 17? I don't think so.
Man, I would like to see this end sometime.
Yeah, it'd be sweet.
I still have Dolphins people tweeting me about saying like a request from the Colts for the Dolphins' number 2 wide receiver when we're giving up Jonathan Taylor if they weren't going to give us a 1 or something like that, that is not a wild request. I don't think that's a wild.
No.
Don't do it.
I mean,
you fucking don't know.
There's no point.
You wrote a book called Football Done Right. Don't you even think about this, saying that is not a wild request is the number 2 wide receiver. He's not number 2 on your team. No shit. He'll be our number 1. Right. He's number 2 on your team is what I'm talking about. And if you're not going to give us a 1 for this, a wild request is that. And then it turns out there wasn't even an offer. There was no offers ever even made. It wasn't even real. They're like a wild request. It's like, how's that wild? I don't request.
Well, in that book, I write about. In that book, I have a whole chapter on trades and how trades are made and what often affects the trade. And usually some trades are made. Just get this guy out of the building. We got to get him out of the building. So they trade him and they take reduced on him. Right? I don't think that's going to be Ballard's position. Some trades are the team is so desperate, we're 1 player away, they overpay. Herschel Walker, the Vikings overpaid. The Packers for John Hadel. So there's all these conditions that I think I write about in the book. I don't see any of these conditions applying to the Jonathan Taylor situation.
I can't take it.
What if he's not healthy? We haven't seen him run or nothing.
Bro, he had to leave camp to go out of state to get some sort of rehab.
That's my question, Lambo. Like, let's just say he's not healthy, right? Maybe that's why they couldn't work out the deal. All right, week 6, he might be healthy, might not, and you don't come up with a deal with him. If he don't get traded, do you leave him on PUP? If you leave him on PUP, you still have the rights to him the next year, right?
Totally.
You have to that PUP year counts as an accrued season. Ooh. So it goes towards his pension and it goes towards his free agency. So now they have to declare they have to either franchise him or he becomes a free agent. The only list that he would not get an accrued season on is if he went on that NFI list. And that obviously is too late. So he's going to get an accrued season. And once he does that, he then becomes free agency.
So maybe that'd be doing him a favor. Hey, we'll just put you on PUP for the year. Good luck. We'll see you later. Last question here from Tone Diggs Paisano.
Yeah, Lombo, we're here. We're here. We're finally here. Week 1. Any betting trends for week 1 or anything you like this weekend that you've looked at in the early board?
I think a lot of people are going to be all down on the Rams, and for good reason, based on what we saw 41-0 in the last preseason game. But I think you have to take the Rams in context. They played Seattle twice last year with not a very good team, and one game was 4-point. The last game of the season was 19-16 and went to overtime. In those 2 games where Raheem Morris is the defensive coordinator going against the Seattle offense, which he knows really well, they picked off Geno Smith 5 times. If you're going to play the Rams and take the points at 5.5, this might be the only month to do it, because once they start getting injuries, I think it's going to become problematic. And the first games are always the hardest games to handicap, and lesser teams can play better. So I think that line at 5.5 last year, look, were they any good last year? Donald didn't play in the last game of the year. Were they any good last year on defense at the end of the year? No. But they turned over Geno Smith. They intercepted him 5 times in 2 games. And it took overtime for them to win the game. And Baker Mayfield was the quarterback in the last game. I think the Rams will play better. Do I think Seattle wins? Yeah, but 5.5 is a lot of points.
Hey, we like that lock there, Lombo.
Okay.
We appreciate you, buddy. Let's talk about football done right here. Setting the record straight on the coaches, players, and history of the NFL. Forward by award-winning sportscaster Jim Nantz.
Whoa.
Okay. Great.
Does he start it with hello, friends?
Yeah.
He does not.
Yeah, it was just so nice of him. He and I worked together at CBS the year I was out of football, and I've been friends with him, and he's just tremendous. He's, as I tell people all the time, as nice as Jim Nantz appears on television, he's nicer in person, and he was so kind to write the forward for me, and I greatly appreciate it. Look, this book is a labor of love for me because I learned as much about everything that I put in the book because I wish I would have written it 20 years earlier. And I try to pay tribute to the older players and especially some of the great coaches like Buddy Parker's up for the Hall of Fame. I write a lot about Buddy Parker, how it was an injustice he's not in the Hall of Fame. And also, you know, Marty Schottenheimer, the great Dan Reeves, he can't get in. He's got 200 wins counting playoffs. He can't get in the Hall of Fame. I think there has to be a criteria for coaches. Look, if the owners want to put themselves in, that's great. They loan the league. They can put themselves in. But the coaches who give their blood and guts up for the league, just like the players, I think there has to be a criteria. And I think Deion's right. What I try to do in the book is put it into echelons. like, when Randy Moss as a wide receiver, his gold jacket is a lot different than Tommy McDonald's gold jacket at wide receiver. They're both in the Hall of Fame. I'm not trying to run them out of there.
He wants a different
but
hall.
They're different.
He said he wants the next
Exactly.
floor, second floor. Let's go ahead and make sure we
That's
understand that there's levels
And
to
that's
this
what
shit.
I wrote about.
I love
And
that.
that's what I wrote about.
You also have, is it top 100 players in here?
Top 100 players of all time. Yeah. And there are people, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of debate about that. But then a top 10 coaches of all time, too.
Starts with the top 10 coaches.
And how the coaching tree started. I think it's really important for young coaches to understand how the game has evolved and where the game came from. And so what I try to do is do all that in the book and try to break it down and study the draft and the impact of I work at VEASAN, right? And so the great Brett Musburger started VEASAN 5 years ago with his nephew, Brian. This man deserves to be, because he advanced the game. NFL Live, when they went NFL Today and they played the music, everybody knows it. And him and the Greek started talking about betting. It was incredible. It advanced the game.
Yeah, they did great.
Hey, number 97 on your top 100 players certainly piqued my interest. I love that.
Yes. I put a kicker in there, Pat. I was not going to disrespect you. There's no way.
So there's
no way.
97 is a kicker.
Okay.
97 is a kicker.
Look, that one iron he hit against me in Foxborough, I can still remember it. When he kicked it, I thought there's no chance he can get it. And it looked like Tiger Woods' one iron. And that alone got his ass in the book right there. That one iron that sent me home with a loss got him in the book.
This man right here, Adam Vinatieri, top 100 players of all time.
Hell
And
yeah.
Paisan's new book, Football Done Right. Incredible stories, incredible knowledge, a little history lesson. Whoa, friend of the program, I just opened the page too.
No way.
Yeah, it feels like we know some of the people in there. We'll learn about them a lot more through Football Done Right. Available now. Perfect timing as we get into the season.
Yep.
As a new season starts, let's embark on an adventure back to how we got here and who got us to this point in the NFL's history in which we're at the top of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Lombardi. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Lombo. Also, Lombo, you there? Lombo, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, Lombo's going to be joining us every single Friday throughout the entire season.
Hell
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That's huge.
Hey, we're pumped. We're pumped about it. Thankful for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Psyched.
Yeah, hell yeah. Michael Lombardi. Thank you.
Yeah, Lombo.
We're going to have to figure out the end of conversations, though.
With Michael.
Yeah, because he's always, thank you. All right, out of here.
All right.
All right. Okay, all right.
Good to see you.
I don't want to take up any more of your time. Is it okay?
Yep.
It's all right, Lombo. Yeah, he's going to join every Friday. I think that's the right time for him to come on because then he'll just, all the shit he has heard for the last 5 days.
Yep. Yeah.
He just kind of just.
Yep.
Yeah, injuries and stuff too.
Also,
I said it Monday, Tuesday. I said it maybe Sunday. Somebody told me that. Yeah. It's like, Lombo, nobody in the football world has heard that.
No idea.
Oh, yeah, it's been out there.
No, I definitely wrote about it in a newsletter. I think I had it in my book.
By that time of the week, he's already watched all the film too and digested every single number on every single game and line of that week.
I didn't like that bet because a guy that can't relate to the younger guys, I'm not betting with his ass.
Who?
So,
Stafford?
Matthew Stafford?
Yeah. Why would I bet with a guy who say they can't relate to the younger guys?
Nah, dude, that was at home. He was talking about
just shooting
not
the breeze.
doing it.
He
That
was
was
with his
pillow
wife
talk.
having a
Not
little
doing
margarita, saying
Exactly.
Jimmy Buffett.
I'm not betting with him, Connor.
Yeah, he was just having a conversation with his wife about how the locker room has changed since the beginning of his career to now. Now it's tough for me to understand what these guys are saying.
Everything's
That's why
litty.
that's why Lombo is great though because he like the Rams are going to be fucking terrible, but he sees how they play their opponent and the schemes.
Matchups.
Yes.
And no Cooper Cup though. Gonna be tough. He said when
He's still in Minnesota. That guy got an Airbnb at that old lady's house.
I think so.
probably. Well, who
awesome.
knows how the deal works with those people? But I mean, if they don't have the number one wide receiver,
What are you saying?
I'm just saying, who knows how the payment is
Is
transferred?
this like the former Hall of Fame guy, Dave? What he said to me?
Oh, that
Oh
was,
boy.
Dave?
yeah, Dave
Yeah.
Baker.
Big Dave.
Oh, David Baker.
Remember he said I was invited to his
yeah,
house.
there's a chance that the
Don't
way.
fuck my wife.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, remember we said we weren't going to say the F word today.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah. I actually
Next
wrote it
hour,
down.
next hour, next hour.
He said that, though. That wasn't me.
We'll start that next hour. He
Well-
did say that.
Yeah,
He did.
Whoa.
you had to bring him what 250 Hershey Sundae pies, and then you had
No,
to
it was,
also.
it was BK.
McDonald's, Burger
We
No,
King.
actually
Burger
sent him
King,
a
yeah.
$500 gift card to Burger King.
yeah.
Yeah.
and he spent it in a
Used
day.
it for lunch.
Because
Yeah.
he's the king.
Yeah,
is
and
the
he's
king.
also 8 feet tall.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 450. Nothing against him.
He rocks a 5XL
Sir,
shirt.
I am not going to be having sexual relations with your wife, okay? First of all, I'm married.
Yep.
Love her. Second of all, let's say I wasn't. You think I'm going to have sex with the actual Giants' wife?
Not a chance.
No way, sir. I have a little bit of a brain here. There's no way I'm Shrek in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not having with Penelope.
Penelope.
Whatever the fuck her name
That
is.
is it. Penelope.
Nobody's doing that because Shrek's just got to do the Wreck-It Ralph thing.
Right.
I think it's a fair warning, though. Like, just don't do it.
I appreciate that he. Why does he think he's got to say
I know
that?
how you young guns act sometimes. I just don't fuck my wife, and we got a great guest room for
He
you.
invited me to sleep in his house and then immediately followed up. But
in his bed.
Just don't fuck my wife.
I'm glad he retired though to do what he did because it is catchy as fuck. What? You don't recognize the voice?
Whopper, 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 whopper.
Junior Whopper.
That's David Baker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that retirement came out of nowhere. It must have been a quick advertising turnaround.
Yeah.
there's a
Said,
couple
hey,
things.
free burgers for life if you fucking
We
voice
miss.
over.
Oh yeah, next hour is 4 minutes we're doing.
Well, they had Hans Zimmer. Actually compose those things. That wasn't just some schlock.
Where is David Baker?
I don't know.
He's in
We
a
appreciate him. He was good at what he did.
He was.
Yeah, and he's even better at
Catered.
in BK doing nothing.
I hope he is. If he is doing Whopper, Junior Whopper, 1 and 2 and 3 of Whoppers. They're pretty good. Burger King has a catchy fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Basically, I can't wait to see these commercials this football season.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to see who got it right, who got it wrong, what sales agencies are lying to people. You know, because there's some advertisements that make you hate the company.
For
A
sure.
lot of
And it's like there's no way the company knew that was happening when these ad agencies pitch them this novel concept. I'm excited to see which companies are those ones.
Well, and we've already, let off the Heisman commercials where RG3's lifted in the mirror saying, "You look good," and then he says it back to himself. I thought that was awesome.
What happened? The mirror was talking? I haven't seen it.
So, yeah, he's doing curls in the mirror, RG3 is, but then inside the mirror is also RG3, and he's leading the workout. And then RG3 in the mirror says, "Looking good, RG3." And then RG3, who's lifting in real world, is saying, "Looking good, RG3."
cool.
Back to
Oh,
RG3.
I like
love
that.
Yeah.
Little Inception. Did they
Yeah.
have a little thing? They have a
No,
little-
no top, no dreidel, nothing like that. It was strictly-
RG3 said that Riley last night
Yeah.
reminded him of like Vanilla Vic.
What?
Jeez.
Oh,
Really?
He called him Vanilla Vic.
I like that call.
Me too.
I've never
pretty good.
heard
That's
that.
interesting.
No, that's not a good call, bro.
Why not?
What do you
mean?
He kind of is vanilla.
you
Did
never
you
heard
see
of
him
Something on his ass. He was fucking tiptoeing. He had the feet of a
Every guy
shorebird.
Vanilla
He did.
Vic now.
No,
What?
no one's ever used that term before. That was
All
the
right,
first time.
there's no reason.
See,
See,
you see.
Tone, there's no reason.
I've
for
never heard it.
They said it once.
Who would they say that about last year?
that. Oh, Daniel Jones.
Oh,
they said
that was it.
They were making, the internet actually had its way with Daniel Jones. They were actually making him a like Michael Vick and his face kind of.
Yeah.
Mixed into one.
Statistically speaking, though, Daniel Jones is a better running quarterback than Michael Vick.
I mean, if you find some stats that say that, I'm sure you could put those out into the
Yep.
public. But then
Stat that.
when you say what you just said, people just
Well,
won't
I did
ever
it.
take you serious.
I did it in Bruce's voice, so
Oh, that was a well actually. Let's get to a break.
Daniel Jones also the fastest quarterback in the NFL, if we recall. He clocked
that was
the,
it, baby.
Clocked
Maybe
the
that was it.
highest.
Whopper, Junior Whopper, crispy, tender meals and Whopper.
He looks good.
Does.
Lost a little bit of weight. His shoulders.
Must be doing keto, just straight burgers every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Flame grilled burgers
Yeah, he walks in with 5, Whoppers stacked up like pancakes, and he's just boom.
with American cheese in the middle.
Yeah.
He look like he eat about 10 of them.
whoa!
No, he looks like he's on Ozempic.
Yeah.
He's not just doing Whoppers too. He does like the chicken fry fingers. Where he
Hey,
replaces
Dave,
them.
we miss you, buddy.
Miss
Miss you,
Dave.
Dave. Love you, Dave.
What?
Hall of Fame hasn't been the same since he's been gone.
It has.
No, it's been different.
We don't want to say anything, but
I mean, what happened to the lights at the Hall of Fame game?
True.
you think David Baker ain't getting on a bicycle as soon as those lights go out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Powering
Exactly.
those things up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At a heartbeat.
Those things.
Yep.
Back.
Actually, he's probably
Too
like,
bright,
what's his
probably.
name from the Green Mile and just fucking powers himself.
John Coffey.
Yeah.
So electric. That's David Baker.
Yep. Just sticks his hands in the transformer and just sits in there for the whole game. Powered stadium.
They just feed him.
Yeah, just feed him
Whoppers.
Whopper.
Yeah.
Need another Whopper. I'm losing juice.
Yeah.
Need another one?
This show.
Yep.
Kirk Herbstreit will be joining us in about 10 minutes. Can't wait to get his actual thoughts on things. We have some thoughts.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Clemson's what now? The third best team in the ACC at least.
Yeah, they suck.
maybe.
Best.
At best, sorry. At best. Third best team in the ACC from what we've seen. These odds. Now, does he have faith that Dabo will be able to get these boys to become a good team by the time the end of the season comes? ACC championship could still be won by the Clemson Tigers. We're just one game into the season. But, boy, there is calls for concern.
That's right.
Big time.
Because they do not look good, and they look bad last year.
Really bad.
Let's get to a break. On the other side, A.J. Hawk will join us. This has got to make him happy over there in Ohio State.
Oh,
Definitely.
He loves it.
Oh, he loves watching these college
He
teams from
does.
the South fail.
Now everyone's talking about his stupid team that sucked in week 1.
And then Duke coach Elco.
Nice.
Mike Elco will join us 2:05, 1 hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was good booking, ZD baby.
And baby Z.
Shout out Lucas Patrick.
Shout out Lucas Patrick, who got us connected to Duke, who got Zito on a phone call, who said, yeah, Coach Elko can join at 2:05. Got that messaging at about 12:20 today.
Hell yeah.
That's great work back there. Shout out to him. Big win last night. They stormed the field.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Let's hear what Herb Street's thoughts are on it, and A.J. Hawk on the other side of this break. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5. You know, sue me. Don't actually. Shout out Brett Favre. I'm buying in to Deion Sanders. You know, I bought into the hype. I bought into the 80-plus people that he's brought in. I brought into the mindset. And they could potentially lose by 50, and I can never do this again. So give me Deion Sanders in the Buffaloes. Shocking the world today is 20-some point dogs. We're about to break some news. Ladies and gentlemen, a franchise has called to its fans to find a new logo for their team. Cleveland Browns said we need a new dog logo. We put an elf in the middle of the field, and people had a little bit of a backlash because we have the dog pound. We are dogs. Now we need a new logo. So they said, hey, any fans want to go ahead and draw one? Go ahead. They have 2 finalists, ladies and gentlemen. 1 fan created, 1 internally created. Ooh. And it is now time for the Cleveland Browns fans to learn their fate of the next dog logo. Bringing in the box that will obviously tell us what is the winner is Brownie the Elf.
Wow.
Brownie.
Get here.
Does he talk?
Brownie,
No.
they just staring each other down. I do not believe he speaks. What's going on?
Stand up, Diggs. Come on.
Oh! Drum roll, please. Replacing the elf. Trust me, Brownie. Always be a place for you. Always be a place. Sorry, Brownie. Wow. Dog logo. So this is a dog by a dog for the dog.
Hell yeah.
Rated in wheat, Brownie.
Suck it.
Oh, let's go shake their hands.
Oh.
Let's go shake their hands.
Oh!
Truce.
Okay.
Hey, that was fun to see. Good AFC North.
no.
Oh, Brownie said last word. Brownie, in the elf community, how high are you in the hierarchy of elves at the top?
Not more than Harry Potter.
Whoa. What about the cookie elves? They're pretty.
Whoa.
What does a Brownie the elf eat, if you had to guess?
Poop.
What do you eat? I don't know. What do you do?
Brownies.
What is it?
Did Brownie wear the whole situation all the way here from Cleveland, you think, in the car?
What do you mean this is every day? This ain't
Yeah.
a situation.
Yeah, he wakes up.
He said
like,
this is a costume. AJ said this is a costume, potentially, and you're not an actual elf. That's what AJ said.
No, AJ.
No, not me.
AJ 's up
AJ
there.
Hawk.
Right there.
That guy.
Right there.
Flip him off, Brownie.
Yeah. Let him know.
Come on, tell him.
Oh! Brownie didn't eat. He eats bugs.
Yeah, he picked your bogies.
Yeah, elves love picking bugs.
Yeah, they big. Is that the second favorite thing he eats? I wonder.
Oh yeah, because
Bugs.
Brownie's number 1,
Yeah.
bugs number 2.
Bugs 2,
Dog poop around the stadium.
3.
Dog pound.
Yeah, yeah. For the dog.
He thought he was getting
Dog
into.
pound.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay, here we go.
That's not a free throw
Right in
though.
front of the free.
Bunnies here, Brownie.
Oh, but that's it. You lose.
No.
Stroke.
Oh!
The runner.
All right, since you made it on the second one, we'll go 20 people, $500 because
Okay.
Brownie's an absolute baller.
That boy Brownie.
Hi, I'm Jared Goff, quarterback, here to audition.
So, Jared, how excited are you about the opportunity to be on the most popular show on television?
Isn't this for the Mancast?
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, I play quarterback.
Ooh, quarterback. We like that.
You like that?
I just said that we liked it.
You like that?
I mean, what is this guy's deal?
No, but did you like it?
How do you feel about audibles?
We generally just want the quarterback to run the play that's called. That's the play.
Sean McVay, Los Angeles Rams head coach.
On this team, we tear ourselves to pieces.
This is how you guys dress in real life.
You guys are terrible evaluators and go f yourself.
Thank you, Mike. Who are your broadcasting icons?
Another one.
What would you say are your strengths?
We the best. I'm just here because your guys have the most punchable face in the history of punching faces.
Wow, Reese Witherspoon. I mean, we're honored you'd even consider auditioning for the Manning cast.
Manning what? Oh, no, I was calling to bundle my home and auto. Aren't you the insurance guy?
So what would we know you from?
Have you heard of TikTok?
Sure.
Really?
No.
Hi, Lil Wayne, Wheezy Baby, President Carter.
I'm Peyton, and this is Lil Brother. Let's get some sleeves on you, big boy.
I don't think the job's for me. I have no idea what this is, but I don't think I'm the right guy.
Well, we tried our best.
Guess it's just the two of us again this season.
Unless there's someone on that list who is just perfect for the job.
Nope. Not on this list. Mm-mm.
You've been waiting here a long time, too? No, I didn't get the Manicast job. I guess I'll just come back and play football again.
To echo your sentiment, Kirk, what I've got to experience over the last 24 hours here in Charlotte with these Cox fans is nothing short of admirable. Every single street corner here, all you're seeing is Cox, Cox, Cox. I did not expect that. I expected North Carolina to kind of rain heavy in here. I think South Carolina's going to make a big-time special teams play. Wow. I think Spencer Rattler is going to play great football. Wow. I think the Cox fans are going to take over the stadium. And I think Drake May is going to prove that he's a Heisman candidate tonight with UNC beating South Carolina. Okay. Hey.
Why? Let's go.
This show fucking stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston College.
Shut the fuck up!
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this glorious Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Football! Happened last night in a big way.
Yes, it did.
Duke beat the hell out of Clemson. We will be joined by Duke's head coach, Mike Elco, in about an hour from right now, chit-chatting about the biggest win in Duke football history, is how the commentators called it last night, as the students were rushing the field, storming the field. Cannot wait to chat with him about the quick turnaround he did down there in a school that is not easy to get into. Right?
At all. Not at all.
So that's a fascinating thing. Can't wait for that chat about last night and what he has in store going. Hey, had Prime yesterday.
Yep.
We got Elco today.
Yeah. How about that?
Look at this show. We're having a program, boys. Talking tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. 14-year NFL icon Pac-Man Jones is here. And joining us live from an attic in Ohio is a man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder winner, a COVID survivor, father of 10, president of Ohio, one of them.
Yep.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Hey.
AJ, how you doing, pal? Big night for college football last night.
That was a big night. You didn't think Clemson was going to figure that thing out?
I thought Clemson was going to figure it out the whole time. I assume that's what everybody thought, because we have seen, these bigger schools struggle early and then inevitably the size, the athleticism, the talent just takes over. And in the fourth quarter, okay, this is what it was supposed to be. They end up winning by 17, 20 somehow. But that wasn't the case at all last night. Duke was like, we're going the opposite direction with his entire thing. Duke was in complete control. The only reason they scored is because of a muff play. You're talking about a bad-looking Clemson Tigers team who was ranked top 10 before we entered the evening, and I think that's strictly because of the respect for Dabo Swinney. Yeah, I thought they were going to pull it out last night, but now I'm worried about, hey, they're 3 in the ACC at best right now,
Yeah, I mean, I think it just shows you how tough it is to truly stay on top. In these teams that continue to have sustained success year after year, it's a brutal game. And now the quarterback that he used to have
all of a sudden goes out, has a great night. Yeah, just I don't know. Like Dabo said, didn't he say it's the weirdest game he's ever been a part of? Something like that.
Yep, absolutely. And I think there's going to be more weird games coming down the pipeline here for this Clemson Tigers football team. But yeah, DJ Uiagalelei throws for 5 touchdowns in his Oregon State debut and looks like he's a natural fit for that entire team that's going to make a run at the Pac-12. I mean, you're talking about a real deal. Joining us now is a guy who has all the information on everything. And also, his 2 boys. Played for that boy.
Good boy. That's right.
Dabo Sweeney down there in Clemson. So he might have a little bit more information than what we have from the outside looking in. They're dead, is what a lot of people are thinking. Will he agree with that or change the tone of all the conversation? Ladies and gentlemen, the face of college football for the last 27 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredibly fit Kirk Herbstreit.
Kirk.
How are you, pal?
What's up, boys? How we doing?
Hey, listen, I don't want to throw you right into this serious of a conversation, and you look really good right there. Look how good you look.
Wow.
Look how thin you are right now.
Unreal.
This is from national championship last year.
Yeah, I got a goiter there, I think, in that national championship pick.
A what? I don't think I know what you're talking about.
What is that?
A goiter. Some excess weight around the neck. I'm trying to catch up to AJ.
Is that what you're
Trying to
talking
lean
about?
out.
There?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just the angle and the lighting.
Like a turkey.
That's the end of the season, bro. He was doing Thursday nights, game days.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Game day production meeting.
I learned a lot about that year, about diet and exercise, and all I did was prepare. I didn't think about anything else.
Yeah, I mean that is a tough. I don't know. We don't know how you survive. Now you would go on to have a a 4 or 5 month vacation.
Right, exactly.
And we felt terrible for you during the season last year. And then there was a couple
7 months on the back end.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Jeez. So there was a couple months. I want to let you know, all season last year we were feeling terrible. We're like, God, Kirk, hope you're all right. Hope you're okay.
Really grinded.
Honestly, we're like, this guy. 27 years into this thing, just signed up for triple the amount of work, let alone Chase playing high school football, traveling back to that on Friday nights in the middle of the whole thing. It's bananas. And then like 2-3 months after the season ended, we're just, we think that. And we're just like, fuck this guy.
Hold on.
Kirk is on his 4th vacation right now, having the time of his life. Do you feel good going into the year? Do you feel great? You look great. You look great.
Feel great.
Okay, good.
Feel great. Excited, ready to go. Can't wait. Yeah. First couple weeks have been fun.
I think so too. Been great games last night.
I've not been on the bus. I haven't been on your bus yet, though. I need to get on the bus this week.
Okay. Well, come on in. You're welcome anytime, obviously. We got a nice setup for you, even a bunk if you ever need it. They put you in a place that you don't love the bed. We got a bunk for you. No worries at all. I'll even give you my bed. You can take my
I'm
bed.
going to set up camp back there. I'm going to take one of the bunks, I think, this week.
Come on. You're welcome.
There you go, Herby.
Come on. There might be some vitamin smell every once in a while just popping up into your nostrils. Don't worry about it. Just keep it moving. It'll make you better. But let's talk about getting better. Are the Clemson Tigers dead, dude? Like, honestly, last night we had a field storm for the first time. Let's go. College football all the way back.
Hell yeah.
Fans going crazy. What a scene. What a moment. What a big-time upset. Colorado over TCU. Whoa. Duke over Clemson. Oh, Darius Rucker. Pick this. Pick Duke over Clemson. And we were all like, all right, bro, you need to relax. He even said, I'm not picking with my brain. My kid basically talked shit to me and said, are you going to pick another school in South Carolina? No way. Give me Duke. Nobody expected this. Elco, the turnaround, insane. And now with Dabo, he's maybe, 3rd, 4th in ACC, let alone everywhere else? Is he going to get him back? And is this the new Clemson?
I don't think it's a new Clemson. If you look how last season ended and what happened in this game, there's reason to, question what the heck's going on with him. I think we all thought the change of offensive coordinator and quarterback with Klubnik coming in was going to get them going in a good direction. There were kind of high expectations. I just wanted to let everybody know the team that they played won 8 games last year. Mike Elco is a great coach.
Yeah.
You could see the difference in attitude and the way they've done a job in recruiting and bringing in some portal guys. They're flying on defense. So I think Duke will end up being a good team. I love their quarterback, Riley Leonard. I loved him before that game. Love him that much more after that game. So they played a good team on the road. This isn't cash all your chips. That's it. That stock's dead on Clemson.
Okay.
They got a lot of work to do. Garrett Riley is the guy that led TCU, Max Duggan, all the way to the national championship a year ago. Guy knows what he's doing, but that didn't look like his offense last night. So there's a few things there. You and I were texting a little bit back and forth. They had a run of some receivers. Go back to T. Higgins, going way back to DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams. And they had some great guys, Hunter Renfro. I mean, they just had, it seems like everybody that played receiver at Clemson went to the NFL. And then they've recruited incredibly well at that position over the last 5 years. But if you watch them, you haven't seen that. That you haven't seen NFL difference makers at receiver. So while we all want to look at quarterback, I'm kind of looking at what's around that quarterback. They've never been a dominant offensive line. They've had really good backs in the past with Travis Etienne type guys. Shipley's good. I don't know if he's like hold your breath, game changer good. The receivers are solid, but not NFL guys, that strike fear in your heart. So they got to come up with a plan that's going to open up this offense a bit and give Cade Klubnik a chance, a guy that can run it and throw it. I don't think it's done. I don't think Clemson's screwed. The season's over. They got a couple games to be able to win over the next. They have Charleston Southern and FAU, so they're going to win 2 games, and then they got Florida State. And the Florida State team we saw the other night, against that team we saw last night, you like Florida State's chances, right? So they've got to right the ship in these next 2 games, and they get ready for a very talented Florida State team that comes to Death Valley. They're not going to Tallahassee. They come to Death Valley, and by then they should be 2-1 and playing with more confidence and at home at night. And if you can win that game, then everybody's talking differently about you.
Yeah, a lot of season left. We're going to call you back, Herby, on our end. Just froze up there, your face while you were talking. You look good, but the message was clear, but we couldn't see as good.
No.
So he's saying, hey, we got a couple weeks here to figure out whether or not, this is going to be it. And I do love the fact that college football is still a lot of growth.
Yeah.
You're still coaching.
Yep.
You're still developing. Cade Klubnik certainly is going to develop even more. You would hope so, or you would think so, at least. But when he said it didn't look like Garrett Riley's offense, that's because in the pre-show, I was watching Matt Berry, Acho, and Mullins talk about it. They did an interview, I think, with Dabo live from the field. And Dabo said that Garrett has had to come in and learn the Clemson offense.
Right.
So he came in January. Our Clemson offense is our Clemson offense. He had to learn the Clemson offense, and now he's at a point where he's very comfortable with it. So we were literally getting a chance to watch Garrett Riley call that Clemson offense for the first time last night against somebody that wasn't a Clemson defense or what he was thinking. That's an interesting move.
Yeah.
AJ, that's an interesting move.
That's very interesting to me. Usually if you're bringing in a new coordinator, you're bringing in his scheme and what he runs, what they run, because that's what you like. I would like to see if there's other teams that are doing this as well.
Yeah, and if we could get Herby back, I believe it's still frozen.
Yeah, I want to know Herby's thoughts on that for real.
Yeah, that's why as soon as you brought up the Garrett Riley, that did not look like his offense. Feels like Herby also knows that he's running somebody else's offense. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us again is one of the presidents of Ohio, a guy who's been the college football face for the last 3 decades, super handsome out of Centerville, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit. Herby, hey, we apologize. Let's get right back into it. All good. You look fantastic. So you said that offense didn't look like Garrett Riley's offense. I was listening to Matt Berry, Acho, and Mullins interview Dabo before the game last night live on the field, and he said that Garrett Riley came in and had to learn Clemson's offense. We have Clemson's offense. He's been in here since January. He's excited to watch what Garrett Riley does with the Clemson offense tonight against somebody that isn't Clemson, was pretty much his answer in that whole thing. Is that normal? Is that how college football works? Because in the NFL, you hire a guy and it's like, all right, this guy's offense is coming in. This guy's coming in. Here it was like, Dabo made it sound at least, and I might be misreading what he said, is like, hey, this is how we run things. This is our plays. You figure out your best plays. Is that normal? Is that how college football normally is?
Well, I think Dabo has a way of saying things where, of course, he hired Garrett Riley to bring in that kind of offensive style, right? I mean, that's why he went out and brought him in. What's normal in college football is exactly what you see in the NFL. Guy has a lot of success at one area, or he learned underneath a guy that had a lot of success, and you think, okay, well, this guy knew Sean McVay's offense, so we're going to hire him at Minnesota and let Kevin O'Connell run the offense and be the head coach in Minnesota. That's what happens in college football too. Okay. So I'm a little bit surprised by what he said. According to what he said, hey, we're going to run the Clemson offense, not Garrett Riley's offense. I think he's trying to say we do everything here as a team.
Got it.
Nobody's an individual. We're not running one young guys. It's a collaborative effort. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Okay, got it. Yeah, because I could easily, that's why I ended. Did I misunderstand what he was saying there? Because I was alarmed by it. It's like, wow, why would you bring in that guy then if it's not going to be just, you can hire anybody, I guess. No offense, but you could figure it out to do anybody's offense. Nonetheless, if they can get better, it'll be a great coaching story. It's like, hey, Dabo still got the fastball. If they can't, though, it's going to get loud, isn't it? It's going to get loud, buddy.
It was already getting loud last year. I mean, and everybody put it on DJ, right? Everybody talked about DJ Uiagalelei, and it's just, man, remember the good old days with Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, and when we had a quarterback that could win, and it all fell on him. And Cade Klubnik, I think, has a ton of talent. I think that'll eventually play itself out. This kid won 3 state championships in the great state of Texas with high school football, which is a tough thing to do. You win 3 sophomore, junior, senior year at the big level. I mean, he's playing the big boys. He battled against Quinn Ewers. I mean, he played real teams and real players. And so he's a talented kid, but they got to get him going, and he needs help around him. Let's also remember this. They fumbled the ball twice inside the 10-yard line. I'm not making excuses for him, but the score ended up being 28-7. But if any of those scores go in, it's a game that goes down to the wire at the very least. It ended up being a game that got away from them because of those turnovers. But, they had over 200 yards rushing, over 200 yards passing. But they'd be the first ones to tell you they got to get things going, and they need to become way more explosive as an offense if they're going to do what they want to do.
Tough ACC seemingly at the top this year as well. The teams have only gotten better. Excited to see how they pan out. Go ahead, AJ.
Kirk, what'd you make of the Ohio State-Indiana game? I know people around Ohio are not too. They just want to air it out a little bit more, I guess, in the future. But it's tough to you win by 20 and people get upset. But that's just where the standard is, I guess, for Ohio State. How do you think everything looks going forward for them?
Well, there's a standard, and then there's a psychotic standard. And I would say that the 15% that represent Ohio State on social media fall into that category of psychotic. They're out of their minds, and what they do is they make high school players, not want to play for that program because of how they're just such jackasses. They drive me crazy with everything that they do. Kyle McCord's trying to learn how to play the position. Kyle McCord's not going to be where C.J. Stroud was at the end of his career when he went on to go to play for the Houston Texans as a top 5 pick in the draft. He needs time, right? So let's give him that time. They opened up on the road against a Big Ten team that's not bad. So Ryan Day knows what he's doing. It's amazing how people that, again, the very small percent that's very vocal, they want to get after Ryan Day. They want to get after Kyle McCord. They want to fire everybody, get rid of everybody. Everybody sucks. These guys are very talented players. They just need time to work together. Let the offensive line have some reps, believe it or not, to build continuity. This kid, Kyle McCord, can rip it. He's got receivers that can make plays. Just because Marvin Harrison didn't make any catches in this first game doesn't mean that Kyle McCord sucks. So I'm pretty happy with the start, and you'll see Youngstown State and Western Kentucky. It'll be 2 games to be able to everyone to be now the other extreme. Holy cow, he's going to win the Heisman. After the next 2 weeks, he's going to win the Heisman. So it'll all come back down to earth. We'll find out who they are when they go to South Bend week 4.
Whoa, that's going to be fun, especially with the way Sam Hartman has appeared to be for that Notre Dame school. I'm so happy for Coach Freeman up there, finding his culture, it's settling in. Speaking of finding a culture, you know what the Ohio State folks will want these next 2 weeks, and I think it's their fault. Oklahoma back. 73 zip on Butch Jones. Did you see his soul leave his body there? Oh. Now, I think he's on some stuff. He's, you know what I mean? His neck to head is pretty big. And I've known Butch Jones a long time. His first GA stop, West Virginia. He ran the punt team. Yeah. He ran it when I got put into punter and I didn't know how to punt. He was the guy running the punt team. So I've known old baby mini Rich Rod for a long time. And seeing his boys just get smoked by Oklahoma was a damn shame. I didn't feel like there was a lot of that. And normally that's a big college football thing. This year has seemingly started vastly different than years past. Is that accurate, you think, or no? I think we're in for a great year this year.
Oh, it's going to be a monster year. I think some of these teams that have been down, have a chance to get their offense going, and they've had it. If you look at the opponents, we even saw and talked about it on College Game Day. There weren't a whole lot of conference matchups. There weren't a whole lot of good versus good, ranked versus ranked. So it afforded these teams to be able to get off to a great start. Home game against a team that you should blow out, and a lot of people did. So that you have a lot of offense. I think the matchups are going to be coming up in the next few weeks are really going to kind of whet our appetite for the season that's going to come. The Pac-12, you and I talked about on the air and off the air. The depth in that conference is frightening. I mean, I think you have 7 teams. I don't think the top 25 came out yet this week. Maybe it has, but I haven't seen it. But I think there's 7 teams when you include these teams like Oregon State and Colorado, USC and UCLA and Washington. Utah. That conference is loaded. And to see what Colorado did, I saw you talk to Coach Prime yesterday. I know it's created a lot of buzz. So yeah, man, it's going to be a great year. The last year we have 4 teams more than likely in the playoff, and just because if you lost a game week 1 and you're a talented team, still a long way to go. Get things right, still have a great year.
Yeah, I think so too. And I talked to AJ about this. I think with the NIL strategy for some teams who aren't able to get a lot of money, right? Don't have a lot of money, but have a good amount of money. Let's spend that on like key positions. Let's get like a D end who's like a 5-star guy. Let's get like a wide receiver who's a 5-star guy. Let's get maybe, running back or quarterback. So I think some of these teams that are traditionally crop are going to be able to have at least a chance at a couple positions to wreck a game, because they got big-time guys. I think we're going to see some upsets this year, a lot more because of that. I think you're going to see smaller schools who've invested in a couple positions who have guys, like everybody else has, are going to be able to upset some people whenever it's a little dry or boring in November. You know what I mean? When it starts getting a little chilly in those noon game, it's early, dreary day, and all of a sudden there's a guy on the other team who's getting paid $100,000 to be there, one of the only NIL guys, and he sees this as a primetime game. I'm going to go make a couple plays, disrupt everything. I think we're in for a good one. And to your point about 7 teams in the Pac-12 being ranked, how about them not being able to get a fucking deal done when all anybody's looking for right now is football rights? You know what I mean? Crazy. We just said we weren't going to say the F word here. 28 minutes in, going to have to stop this for on Thursday launch.
Sure.
That's the NFL or the college is beautiful. NFL kicks off on Thursday. There's still some storylines here brewing with some contract situations on the defense side of the ball and JT as well. But I think this season in the NFL is going to be a banger, Kirk. The AFC loaded. NFC has got a lot of teams that are trying to prove themselves and become the next generation. We got a great NFL season ahead. And I think Amazon has a great schedule ahead this year as well.
Yeah, there's so many storylines in the what do you call it, the men's league?
Yeah,
your guy Aaron Rodgers going over to the New York Jets. Think about that division alone. I mean, think about those matchups every single week. You're intrigued to watch the Jets. What's going to happen with Mac Jones, with Billy O'Brien coming over to call his plays? We're excited to see that. Buffalo, we know about with Josh Allen. The Dolphins. I mean, that's just one division. Then you go around and look at, how does Jordan Love going to do trying to replace Aaron Rodgers? And the Vikings, after, having an incredible year, where they 13-4, they end up losing to the Giants. And now they're talking about trying to be better than they were a year ago. Lost some good people, try to replace them. They open up with Philly next week on Thursday, our first game. So there are a ton of storylines, not to mention the obvious with Mahomes and Kansas City and Philly and trying to get back to that Super Bowl again, and this time trying to win it. Joe Burrow, hopefully healthy and okay after the calf that kind of held him out of camp. Cleveland, now that Deshaun Watson has a year under his belt, trying to learn to see what he can do. Another offseason to try to get better. They open up with Cincy. I mean, you just go around the entire league, and there's storylines, and it's gonna, like you said, it's going to be a lot of fun to see who can last and make a run near the end.
Somehow football has gotten better. It's a beautiful thing. Pac-Man's got a question for you, Herby.
Hey, Herby, we haven't talked much about Tennessee because a lot of different other teams have been getting headlines, but I think they did a couple things on the offseason with D-Hop. Do you think they have a chance of winning their division, or is it more of a rebuilding year for them?
Great question. I feel like I always fall back to Vrabel in culture. Last year was kind of an anomaly as far as his time there. Nobody knows him better than AJ, but I'm a huge fan of what he does and how he does it, and where they were with the injuries these last few years. If they could just stay healthy, I do feel like Pac-Man, they're kind of a forgotten team right now. I think there's so much buzz about. I know Pat's high on the Colts and what they can do this year. A
lot of people
with Anthony Richardson coming in. We got another rookie quarterback down in Houston. Jacksonville looks like on paper the team to beat, but I never count out Braves. Never, ever. And he's going to have a defense that can fly around. But Pat's bullish on the Colts like he is with West Virginia this year.
No, I'm out on West Virginia. That's over. I told you it was going to be a quick one. We're either going to do it or we're not.
What about this week, though?
Bro,
What about against Duquesne?
Wait a second.
I told you.
We went through their entire schedule, and I counted 5 wins. Whoa. And you got mad at me. Now
it ain't over with yet.
It is for me.
It's over.
Listen, I will certainly be paying attention to them beat up on the Dukes this weekend. And
sure.
I said yesterday, if West Virginia loses to Duquesne, they need to go rip the visor off of his head on the sideline.
With the scalp.
Take.
Jeez,
not that. Just with the what's that? They're not what?
They're not going to lose to Duquesne. I mean, when we went through our list there of 5 wins, that was one of their. There's a win right there.
Heard they got some players.
There's a loss to Pitt. There's. I'll give you a win against Texas Tech.
Oh, Thank you. They had a great start to the season. Yeah, thanks. Jeez. TCU, they stink.
Yeah.
They just lost to a team that brought in 80-some guys.
Yeah.
Obviously. Houston's done. Dana's not even going to want to coach there because how hot the seat's going to get by then. Oklahoma State, okay.
I set the over/under at 5, and I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold true to that.
Fool.
Well, see, for me, I think I've said every single time we're going to go into Happy Valley, we're going to win, and then we're going to go to the college football playoff because Garrett Green's going to run wild. Yep. Guess what didn't happen? We did not go in there and win.
He ran wild, though.
He was running all over the place. We didn't complete 2 passes, though. I mean, we didn't look like a football team. So then all of a sudden, while I'm watching it, I start getting upset. I'm like, why is this such a big deal that West Virginia is potentially going to beat Penn State? Shouldn't be this way. Shouldn't be 5 years into a 10-year. Like, you know what? You guys are going to actually go Oppenheimer a nuclear bomb and go beat Penn State. Like, that is what people are acting like. It's like, that shouldn't be how we're viewed. We got NIL money. We have championships. We have them.
What?
And then now this guy just, there's no moxie out of this. This team's crop, dude. This team's crop.
Total crop.
Players are good, though.
No John.
Players are good.
No John.
When you guys played, you guys had difference makers. How many guys on that roster right now would have played when Pac-Man Jones was on that team? You were on that team. Tavon Austin was on that team. I mean, you guys had some
Those are
players
multiple different generations of the teams there.
How many guys that you watched the other night would have played on those West Virginia teams?
I just want to know how many could have survived, is what I'm saying. Like our workouts are. That's what I want to know. I think that's our biggest issue. I think all of us ex-guys' biggest issue is like how they go about doing what they're doing. It's not just about that they do it. And it's like, how are we a tough team, a hard-nosed team? Is it like, does it represent West Virginia? Like, that's a gritty city. That's a gritty state, dude. You know what I mean? So, like, I think just the overall of it, it's tough. It's tough. And I don't like that.
You asking for a change there? Are you asking for a change?
I have no say, and what I'm learning is when I say stuff, everybody kind of does it. So I don't like calling for people's jobs and stuff like that because like people deserve.
No.
But also like, come on, bro, you're 5 years into this thing, and you guys there was nobody thought you had a chance against a team that's third in the Big Ten right now. Okay, third in could be different this year. We don't know how it ends. We don't know how it ends. They're good. They are good this year.
Yeah.
They're
good.
That helps me a lot.
Yeah.
But let's just say they're third in the Big Ten if we're to look at how it's been over the last 10 years or whatever it has been for Penn State. It's like we're in the Big 12. It's another Power 5. And people are saying we got no shot against number 3 in the Big 10. It's like, come on, bro. That can't be the case. We got money.
You had no shot. You had no shot.
That can't be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That is my exact point here. Kirk Herbstreit, one of the voices of college football for the last 3 decades. I say we're going in Happy Valley, beat Penn State, and this guy's 5th year as coach. In my face.
Good one.
Laughed in my face
That's right.
on TV. And it's like, that shouldn't be the reaction that people think of your program, Neil. Like, just change it. Hey, figure it out, Neil.
Figure it out. He won't.
Figure it out.
People agree with you, too, in West Virginia. It's not like we're sitting up here saying different things.
We got to win.
But I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like being that bearer of that news, but also.
Hey, tell me about Thursday. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what we got going. Open it this first day. We got a big day on Friday. Talk to me. It's a big week.
It's pretty large. Yeah, we're off tomorrow because tests on tests on tests. You know what I mean? Got a triple stamp or double stamp.
That's right, redundancies.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, had 2 fibers coming into here. Now we got 5 fibers coming into here, and we still can't connect with Herb Street. So, you know, that seems to be an interesting thing that has kind of taken place. There'll be a satellite truck out here as well.
That's right.
So 5 fibers and a satellite truck. All of them have to be tested. Wow. Yeah, of course. We are not paying for that.
No,
that was certainly something that was negotiated by. So we feel like ESPN very much invested on making sure we get off the ground. So we're very thankful for that.
Of course.
Very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Seems a bit much, but
not broadcasting to the moon, and just going to
bingo, just
going to Bristol.
Same YouTube that we've been going to for about 5 years now. Good. And then same ESPN that's been ripping our show for a long time.
Same one.
So we're very pumped, very thankful to be there. But yeah, we got some big guests coming up. We're gonna have a little football to chit chat about. We're gonna, try not to say fuck. That's gonna be.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. How are you gonna handle that?
I think, to be clear, and I don't want to throw anybody on the bus, I am at the stage of my life where I can, because I have to for game day, obviously. For WWE, have to. There's other times you got to do it. In here, might get a little bit comfortable in the conversations. But this is the first time since Westwood 1 when we were on radio where the boys are going to be tested, And I'm excited. I think the boys will be able to figure it out. We're professionals.
Who are you most concerned about?
With the F word?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Tony.
I think everybody's good. I think everybody's good.
You can be
How
honest.
was that?
Connor is going to say something, though, that's going to piss off.
Yes, that's going to happen, whether there's a swear word in it or not. Yeah, that's going to happen.
He's going to reference something that is real and happening that people are not going to be happy about it even mentioning, even though Connor didn't create this news.
No, yeah.
He's just letting people know that this exists. And the way he chooses to deliver, that is certainly going to be something.
And I got like 4 things just sitting in a holster right now.
You've been waiting, huh?
Yeah. There's a couple updates to some news stories that I've been waiting to give, but we'll
Had
wait.
30 birds outside today.
Man.
Just so you know.
Yeah, didn't we? Birds. Yeah. I had plenty of them out there.
30 of them.
Now, why do you think the connection is a little down with Kirk, huh? You think about that yet? Have you? Because I have. Maybe too many things are on our network. Maybe.
He thinks birds are fake, Kirk.
They are. It's not a think. They are. Holy shit.
He doesn't think birds are real. Like, eagles are real. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are animals.
Yep.
It's America. He said these little birds, though, they're all just the government.
Yeah, government drones,
That's
spies.
Right. Pigeons, all of them.
So watch them. Watch them when they fly over your car. They're listening.
That's right.
Yeah. Why do you think they're standing on those power lines, huh?
Recharging. That's this guy. Real thought. He's not the only one either, Herby.
No.
He's not the only guy that feels that way. So that's going to happen on ESPN right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden,
These assholes.
Oh my God.
That's going to be loud.
It's going to get loud. So that's the thing that I'm most, I don't want to say worried about because it's like inevitable, but that's the thing that's going to get the loudest, I think, is like we are certainly going to be talking shit about something and people are going to take our words and put them as like journalism fact. And then whenever you take jokes and put them into lawsuits, they certainly read
we've seen that
a little bit different.
They do.
Than the delivery and the context of it. So that's the big thing I think we're going to have to work through. You know what I mean, Herby? I think that's the first month or so, 2 months, 3 months, probably whole season.
Yeah. And if Friday, is the whole crew going to Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, I don't know about whole crew because like we got 15 employees every year, so it would be 16 deep if we were to fly down there, hotel room, setup and everything. But a majority of the crew is going down. We're actually in the middle of figuring that out right now. Who can be here and do their job? Who has to be there and do their job? So this is something like we're excited about doing, getting to go on location without me having to rent a truck and a stage
setup
and internet and lease permits to put us into a place like ESPN having us at the game day location. So sweet, so incredibly sweet, like very pumped about it. Now it's like, all right, we still got to execute a show though. So, and we have this much room and flight, like it's just, Now we got other problems to deal with, but they're good problems. Friday should be gigantic, though. We're thinking if people show up, Herby, you know what I mean? Might need you in the crowd doing one of these.
Yep.
Ooh,
You know, for us.
No, you'll have a huge crowd there. They're going to be going crazy. You kidding me?
I've never been down there,
They're gonna be
Tuscaloosa.
fired up.
I've never been down there. That's a good place. This is our first time going down there. It's going to be wild this weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah. They're passionate, so they'll be out there. Just make sure what time they need to be out there. Make sure they know to be out there.
11 a.m. local.
11 a.m. local.
That's when the show starts.
Yep, they'll be out there.
Make sure you're there 10:55.
Yeah.
Let's go.
10:55,
Get
10:50.
10-50.
Some bottomless mimosas before, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, you do whatever you got to do to have a good time. What I've heard is it's hot as shit, though, Herby.
Well, it's for you and I. It's always hot, right? So I was impressed. I told you at the break last week that sun going off of our back. Usually, I'm trying to dab my forehead if I feel a little moisture. You had it falling off your chin. Didn't even bother you. You didn't one time think about. And I look over at Dez. Dez doesn't have a speck of sweat on his forehead. I look at you and me, and it's just falling. It's like we jumped into a pool.
Yes.
At the break.
Yeah, that was.
And you're not even concerned about it. I really respect that. That's a hell of a job by you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I saw you patting your head, and then Trish was bringing up like paper towels or whatever. I'm like, get out. Like, what are we doing? Yeah. I'm nowhere near done. I'm nowhere near. So we stop this right here. This thing is still, you know what I mean? You're just throwing, you might as well just throw a little bottle of water at a forest fire right now. This is not, that paper towel is going to get engulfed. We don't have enough time during this commercial break.
You just said to hell with it. It didn't even affect you. You weren't worried about it at all.
I got pretty dehydrated about an hour and a half in. I got real tired, I will say. I lost all of the liquid in my body. I was down in water. It was great to be back in front of people, wasn't it, Herby? It was great.
It was great. Yeah. The energy for a neutral site game. That was a great setup. South Carolina comes strong, but North Carolina, I think they're feeling a little cocky about what they have this year with Drake May and the boys. They got a heck of a team.
Cocky, huh?
They showed up great.
South Carolina's a little cocky too, you know. Got a lot of cocks out there.
Cocks.
As soon as I found out that they actually that's how they
common
talk.
vernacular, yeah.
That is
cocks.
how, just cocks.
AJ, you knew that was coming, right?
I didn't know.
Oh yeah. We saw the head coach choking a cock right after the game as well.
Yeah.
What's that?
AJ always sees the cocks coming. We know that.
Well, the cocks, I didn't, obviously.
They were sharing advice at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah, I did see.
Yeah.
Mac Brown said, get over here.
Yeah, he did.
Let me talk to you. Let me teach you a little something.
Yeah.
You know, and he grabbed him right by his what is it called?
Oh, yeah. What was it, Kirk?
A goiter. Grabbed his goiter.
Yeah, he did.
Grabbed the
Give me your goiter.
Come here, goddammit.
Because, he was a Hokie. He was a Hokie at one point, so they're known for their goiters.
Exactly.
And then now, obviously, he's a cock. Cock's got good goiters.
Mm-hmm.
So Mac Brown just wanted to feel that goiter.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what he wanted to do.
Come here, boy.
Shane Beamer and Mac were very incredibly kind with their time. I do appreciate the fact about College Game Day. It's like, that is so appreciated by college football fans. Like those kids that were out there for 3 hours in 110 degree heat, whatever it was out there, neutral site game is until the night. Like they're showing up for college football. They're showing up for the school like it's a duty. Like they have to.
Yeah.
I respect and appreciate that so much that happens.
That's cool.
It is. This weekend they're saying is going to be bananas in Tuscaloosa. They're saying it's going to be a full-on shit. They're like talking about this is going to be one of the biggest game days that there's ever been because it's a Texas event that has happened here so early in the season. Is that what we should expect? Huh? It's going to be bananas over there.
It's going to be wild. Yeah, Denny Chimes right in the middle of the tailgating scene in Tuscaloosa. They start on Thursday, so we don't have to worry about it being a night game. They get their tailgating going early, and they're fired up, man. I mean, and Texas will bring some fans too. So we don't. Greg Stanke, the SEC commissioner, was telling me that a lot of these big Alabama games at home, they'll have 30 or 45,000 people outside of the stadium, like at a viewing party, because they can't get in to watch the game. So it'll be one of those kind of scenes this weekend in Tuscaloosa for sure.
All right, and
you going collared shirt again? You going collared shirt?
I don't know. It was hot.
Yeah, how hot was it with the collar?
It was real hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was nothing breathing here either. Usually the neck.
What made you go that route?
So David Allen is a guy from Pittsburgh, a tailor from Pittsburgh. He has incredible clothes. He made me a couple shirts that are like athletic fit, like very comfortable, with a stiff neck too. Which if I'm gonna wear a collar, I need a stiff neck. You know what I mean? I don't
Nice
want
and starchy.
because I sweat a lot. So like that thing, I don't need that thing to be
flailing.
You know what I mean? Like my body not built to be in a collared shirt, a button-down shirt. I'm a spark plug. I'm not supposed to do this. This is not how it's supposed to be. But if I'm gonna do it, so this guy took time out of his life to craft these shirts for me because I was very appreciative of it. So I wore it, obviously. I thought it looked very good. I appreciated it. Yeah. I did. But boy, I never sweat like that, I don't think. Long time. You know what I mean? I think my body just had
The collar held up great in the sweat.
It did, right? It was pretty stiff. It
stayed.
Looked like a neck brace.
Yeah. Black
I was
jacket.
trying to look at Darius Rucker. I was trying to look at Darius Rucker like this. Couldn't even get to Hootie. You know, I was doing my thing. But maybe, I don't know, Alabama, Southerns, I probably should for the good of them. Does feel like we're staring down a tank top game, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot one, too.
It feels like it's a tank top operation. It feels like it.
Well, you're calling the game that night, too. Maybe you go tank top for the game, and you go collar for game day.
So we got both kind of jotted down. We'll see. I don't know how big of a suitcase I'm bringing.
You guys are on ESPN 2 for the game, right?
Yeah, people are happy about that, not showing another college football game.
Another thing to blame you for.
Boom. Just being pissed off. Last thing before we let you go. Friday night, buddy. Listen, I know there's a big time game Saturday night. I know we got game day Saturday morning. It's going to be incredible. I know we're live Friday from the Quad, I do believe, at Alabama. Friday night, though, in Ohio. Uh-oh.
Look out.
Uh-oh.
Well, Withrow and Pac-Man been waiting to get a piece of St. X for an entire year, so they're going to get them Friday. St. X coming off a tough loss down in Tennessee. Withrow is just scoring 45, 50 a game on everybody they play.
Oh, no.
His godson is just lighting everybody up, so St. X has their hands full.
No, your son playing good, too. We got our hands full, too. Y'all got a good group over there, man. The tight end is a dog, too.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, it's
I like
big
this.
suck fest.
I like this. This is very nice of you guys.
Some shit.
St. X and Withrow. This is obviously two massive powerhouses in Ohio clashing. Chris Henry Jr. is representing Withrow via the Pac-Man Jones house. He's 6'6", 4'4", sophomore.
Yeah.
Windmill Duncan.
Chase.
Probably the best receiver in the state of Ohio, right up in that discussion, even though he's a sophomore.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a dog, too. He's a dog. He's working every single day.
Committed.
And then there's Chase Herbstreit on the other side, leading the boys.
That's right.
Got Jake Herbstreit cutting promo videos.
Hell yeah.
Every single week. I mean, you got real royalty battling here in the state of Ohio on Friday night. I'm excited for it. What happened in Tennessee? Tough team.
Tough team, really talented. Had some Tennessee Vol commits, and they were just well coached. It was just a good game in the first half, and then they pulled away and made some plays and hit some big plays against the corners. So that's why it's going to be an interesting matchup against Chris Henry because he's so athletic and so skilled. So we'll see.
We will certainly.
It's at Withrow, which I hear is a beautiful stadium. I've never been there.
It's going to be a hostile environment.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Kirk's going to be walking in there with a couple of the boys. You can watch on the ESPX broadcast for St. Xavier. I've watched a few games on here. Watch old Chase do his thing. Pretty good broadcast.
Okay.
Pretty good broadcast.
Worth it.
Not too shabby. Thankful for you, Herby. Thank you so much. We'll see you down in Alabama, pal.
Yep. You guys have a great week. Talk to you soon.
You got it. You're the man. So we're not out on Clemson.
No, not yet.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, the face of college football, Kirk Herbstreit.
Hey, Kirk.
He was holding that phone up the whole time, shoulders.
Oh, yeah. I bet they were burning.
I was working on his boulder shoulders, AJ. You know what I mean? Trying to
Did he rotate? He switch arms at all?
Seems like he stayed on this side the whole time.
Working on his left. Yeah.
I wonder what was over here. Yeah, he probably already did arm. Right arm.
Yeah, right's good to go today.
Right arm day. He probably already did that. Take some phone calls. 1-833-432-3663. 1-833-4-DOME. Not a bad convo. He said, let's not give up on Clemson. Let's not do that just yet.
If we can't give up on Clemson, we can't give up on West Virginia.
Well,
Can't lose another one. You just can't lose another one.
I think
you
we
don't have
can
any
give
room.
up on them both.
Listen, I'm not giving up on West Virginia. Okay, I'm not doing it.
Sound like you were.
You already
Just let
did,
it go.
kind of.
We're not.
I'm not. I'm giving up on them getting the college football playoff.
Okay. that makes sense.
Certainly. I'm certainly.
I mean, just
Well,
jump
at
off
least
the
make it bold.
bandwagon. All right, one loss.
What if
Just
it's a
jump
close
right off.
game with Duquesne? Like what if they win, but it's by like 3
Yeah.
points?
It'll be like
That's not a
40.
win.
It'll be 40 something to 7 or something like that. I
hope.
I hope as well.
Yeah.
This feels like a great Garrett Green do his thing game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Down there.
Yeah.
And we got a good offensive line too, so they should be able to move. We were taking on a great Penn State team, and you know, whenever I said they were number 3 in the Big Ten, and he's like, "Well," it's like Ohio State and Michigan are just, so good every single year. It's like Penn State used to be like that.
Yeah.
Penn State used to be in that conversation. Yeah. They would even self-admit that they have fallen out of that conversation, out of the powerhouse. So whenever the conversation is, you can't go up to Penn State and get a win, you got no shot at all, it's like, that's not good for another Power 5 team, which is all I'm saying. Like, hey, Neil, this is what people are saying about your recruits, your entire culture, your entire team, your program that is all in your name now.
What?
5 years into this. They're saying you got no shot against 3 in the Big Ten. That's not what we're trying to get to.
No, not at all.
Who's trying to do that? In the Big 12, pretty good little conference this year.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
But West Virginia's going to run.
We're going to be all right.
Yeah,
Well,
they're gonna run their ass out of the Big 12. Maybe go on over to the Mountain West or something.
No.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
What would happen?
Maybe the AAC. Maybe they play Tulane a couple times a year instead.
Nah, we're going to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If anywhere, we're going to the Big Ten.
I don't see
Not a
that.
chance.
Yeah, just wait till Rich Rodriguez is back.
Well,
head coach.
now maybe.
Sure.
Now maybe. If Neil Brown is still the head man, guess what? They ain't playing in the fucking Big Ten.
I don't know if the academia is big.
Huh?
Whoa, Tony.
Oh, shut up.
They say you got to be a research school. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and West Virginia is cutting their foreign languages because they're not learning that goddamn Mandarin anymore. They're not doing Chi-Com stuff. which
Listen,
I
sorry,
support.
we couldn't find enough professors to teach foreign languages.
Did that really happen?
Yeah.
Got cut yesterday.
Budget cuts.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Oh, no.
No more foreign languages.
They're
Speak
spending
English and
$40
speak it
million.
right.
Yeah,
English only.
Turns out it's
America.
pretty hard to teach Hicks French. You know,
Whoa!
you would have thought.
You better watch your mouth.
What? French is a hard language. I'm just
Get
saying.
some Rosetta Stone or something. Duolingo.
You need to watch your mouth.
French lip.
That was not
Hill
disrespectful.
Jacks, maybe. Hillbillies, maybe. Okay? Hicks, watch your tone.
Sorry.
That's
I grouped them all together.
This
That's all-
this yank.
Yeah, exactly. That's your problem. He's been saying a couple things that have sounded real. Oh, I'm from the North and you're not. West Virginia is part of the fucking North, pal.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
I know. That's why I broke off. Look, I
Heard of the Mason-Dixon line?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I mean, you guys know what the Rust Belt is. There's only one state in the Northeast that's part of the Rust Belt, and that's Massachusetts. So we're on the same page here. We looked at the Rust Belt map. You can't deny
Yeah, the Rust Belt
facts.
was made by somebody that wrote the Paul Revere story.
Yeah.
It's all fake.
Oh, so
everything is bullshit.
You're saying the Rust Belt's fake?
No. That one you're looking at?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That is
no.
a fake one.
That's the map that
You know
we
where
all
the Rust
looked
Belt
at.
goes from?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh to Ohio.
Yep.
End of story.
And it starts
That's
up in
just
Mass.
not true at all.
Yeah. Boom.
Detroit is the Rust Belt.
That's Mason.
What are we
That's
talking
fine.
about?
That is
here?
not the Rust Belt.
Oh, so you guys are south of the Mason-Dixon.
Thanks. Well, see, West Virginia actually left Virginia.
Uh-huh. Still south of it, though.
No, this map's wrong, just like the Rust Belt map.
Well, and plus, Indiana is north of that line, and we know Bill's grandfather started the KKK, so that was in Indiana
They
as well.
do say that Indiana was one of the founders
Yep.
of the old Ku Klux Klan.
Yep.
Boom.
What a thing.
Yeah, wild.
That just existed.
Yeah. You seen
Popped up. You know, I'm fucking sick of it. Me too. Fuck it. Let's put on these hoods.
Put a goddamn hood on.
Yeah.
If you're really sick of it, put a hood on.
Cuts my holes out of it.
Yeah. If you want to show up, let's go ahead. You really hate? Oh, okay. Let's see. You burn this cross? Feels like that goes against everything we believe. There's nothing wrong with you. You hate him or not?
Put your damn hood on.
Or pick.
Shut up.
Could you imagine a first meeting? So what are we going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to sit here. We're fucking hating.
Yeah, drink beer and make fun of minorities. What do you mean? That's what we're going to do.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Allegedly founded here in Indiana.
Yeah, that's what they say, yeah. Started in Indiana.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Bill's grandpa was not a member, correct?
I don't think we can confirm that. There's no chance.
Connor's trying to say he started the whole situation.
Yeah, well, that's not. There's another thing, by the way.
Yeah.
So that'll be
Yep.
To our point, whenever they write that
clarify.
out,
Yeah.
when they write that out, Bill's grandpa founded the KKK.
I never knew he started that program.
So the one guy,
Oh no.
a member of the McAfee, is actually has lineage to the foundings of the KKK.
It was a joke.
No, that ain't how it goes, Pack. Well, listen, I saw a lawsuit with a lot of my words in them, and they were certainly delivered.
This guy hired the grandest wizard's son, his grandson. Can we trust this guy?
That is how they go, right? They got like ranks.
Yeah, Grand Wizard, I think, is head honcho.
Yeah, it's David Duke.
This is going to sound crazy because I think, as soon as one asshole white does something, all whites automatically get kind of lumped into it.
Yep.
I did not know much about that type of white growing up in Pittsburgh because the only thing we ever said was like, yeah, we won. So, we won. So sorry about it. Don't know how to say it. But then, boy, once you start hearing stories of these people, they really had some real hate.
Crazy.
Hey, these people had some real hate in their heart. I mean,
they're still kicking around too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not like the numbers like they used to, but.
But then once again, as soon as whatever small percentage of whites that feel like that do anything, it makes us all look bad.
Yeah.
And then we just got to come out and say, like, hey, listen, not everybody thinks the South won the war.
No.
There's actually a lot of us who are like undefeated.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Right.
3-0.
We fucking won.
In wars at home.
And by we, I mean not me. I wasn't around.
No.
I wasn't around at
But
all.
our type of whites.
Bingo. The Irish got sent over here.
Bingo.
Welcome to America. You want to live here? Yeah. All right, sweet. Here's a gun.
Yep, here's musket.
Anybody that has a little slower voice, that is who we are not about. Okay, sweet. Good luck out there.
Perfect.
And guess what?
You got the job done.
Irish don't fail.
I think we have plenty of times in a lot of things. I've been learning a lot about the Irish. I mean, I've been kind of looking into it. I mean, great group. We're a tough bunch.
Yeah, resilient.
Very, very tough bunch. I think we fucked some shit up though.
Yeah.
I would assume.
I was a Protestant Irish people. I wasn't us.
Are you a part of the big time Irish community up there in Boston whenever you were growing up? Like, was it a lot of super duper Irish stuff?
I mean, the whole community is Irish. It really, that's why I say like Italian people we made fun of just because they were the minority, like how you were the Irish person in the
No, but what
Italian
he
group.
says, did you eat potatoes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yes, I did. I did do that, and Pop-Tarts.
Big time Irish.
That's a big Irish thing.
Yeah, which one? The s'more one has really become.
S'more one.
That one kind of snuck into my life late.
Yeah, cookies and cream as well snuck into my life.
I don't think Pop Top has nothing to do with Irish.
You don't know shit.
You look at this racist. Okay, it's good. Can't be with the Irish.
How about
Is that what you're saying, Pat?
Come on.
Wow. I do want
I'm with Pack on this one.
No.
I think
Bro, that's a
Listen
hood
to the
snack,
hawk.
Nice.
All right.
Two people from Ohio, both racist as shit.
Wow. Hate the Irish. Wow.
That's despicable.
Listen, we don't need to find out if the Irish had anything to do with Pop-Tarts.
They did. Seamus O. Pop-Tart.
It said Seamus O. Pop-Tartigan created Pop-Tarts.
People think that's real. They are telling lies on that show. It's unbelievable. You hear what they said about the Italians? It's like, well, the host is Italian. No, he's not.
So am I.
0.01%.
They actually got the horn.
Got the horn.
Got the goddamn horn right here on the chest.
Look at it.
That says I can say whatever I want.
That's also why you have the disclaimer at the start of the show, because that basically absolves us of all sins.
Yeah, we created a great disclaimer to start the whole ESPN show, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was watching, I forget what time. So I was watching old Jackass episode came on to the screen that I was watching. I forget how it happened. I don't know what I was watching. And at the beginning, there was like that disclaimer. I'm like, boom, here we go. This is what gets us out of our thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a disclaimer before the first hour every single day. I think our people are going to enjoy it. I think just know that it's obviously taken very seriously and very respectfully done.
Right.
Yeah.
And obviously done with lawyers and stuff like that. All that, script writers.
Yep.
It's one big with all due respect.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And after you say that, you can say anything.
That's right. I don't know if that's how everybody's going to feel. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Matt in Cincinnati, see how he feels about the Irish. That's Ohio. What's going on, pal?
Hey, what's going on, Pat? I am from North Cincy, like you said. We've got a group together. We've been Bengals fans our whole life. We're going up to Cleveland for week 1. I just want to know what you kind of thought about the hostile environment and what we should expect.
Well, you're from Ohio, so I think you kind of understand there. Like, Ohio is always going to be a hostile environment when it comes to football, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pretty heated between Ohio State and Cincinnati and the interstate rivalries. But yeah,
And Cleveland. I mean, basically, and thank you for calling, Matt. Good luck. Safe travels up there to Cleveland. We hope you have a good time. And it feels like Cincinnati should feel pretty comfortable in that particular game, hopefully, if Joey Burrow's all the way back. Nice little win, maybe instead of a slow start for the Bengals this year, maybe a win. But the Browns also got a lot to prove. I think Cleveland, I don't really know much about the environment there. AJ, you've been to a lot of Browns games. I assume it's hostile just because it's an Ohio team and it's the Browns and they got the dog pound. But I don't really remember any conversation about anything other than the wind and the weather.
Well, I can paint a picture. It's like if someone were to take poop and then didn't flush the toilet, and then you came in and took a poop on top of a poop. That's like what Bengals fans are going to Brown Stadium is going to be like. Is that a hostile environment? Yeah, I would think so.
Let's get to a break. That's another thing.
Yeah.
When asked about the Cleveland Browns environment, they tried to get an answer, but they ended up with porta potty poop on top of poop talk.
Which means that it's a shitty environment. That was a great way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the metaphors are there if you just read through them.
Yeah, dig through the shit.
I think it's going to be good. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a great environment, I'd assume. AJ, you played in a couple of those games, I guess, right? As an Ohioan?
I've never been in the stands to watch a game. I've played there a few times. Yeah, and I think it's actually a very nice stadium too, though. For real.
Yes, me too. I like Cleveland Stadium.
Yeah.
It's windy as hell and terrible, but it's a very nice stadium.
I don't know if you remember from last year, but the drunkest fan of 2022 was actually in Cleveland. If you remember that gentleman
who walked on the field, that was at LSU.
No, yeah, that guy as well. But there was one dude in the stands in Cleveland. I remember.
Oh, he fell down
very specifically. No, that was the Bears guy. Yeah,
that was Bears pack.
That was Bears. Yeah, caused a tidal wave in Lake Michigan.
Yep.
Was it the guy who just leaned over?
I don't remember the Browns.
Oh man, if you search Browns drunk NFL fan, he's right. Yeah, there he is. Boom.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Yeah.
That's 2018. He's getting after loves the Brownies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The first photo was from. Yeah, there it is.
Peyton Hillis jersey, or another one.
Yeah. Skull on the back.
Oh yes.
Yeah. That guy, every year this guy shows up. This guy shows up changing the game for Cleveland. That's what it was last year. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a hostile environment. That guy's in the stands.
Yeah.
He got no shot. Okay, good luck over there, Matt. Stay clear of that guy.
Yeah. Be careful.
He doesn't know what he's seeing. He doesn't know where you are or where he is. But if he gets his eyes on you, you're done, Matt.
That's right.
You're not making it back to Natty.
No.
Let's get to a break. Mike Elco of the Duke Blue Devils, after one of the largest wins in the history of their football program, took place last night, as they beat the top 10 Clemson Tigers in a rout.
Yeah.
With the field being stormed immediately afterwards. We'll talk to Coach Elco on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
In an abandoned warehouse, Arthur Isaac Fischel, the world's AI authority, has summoned the Earth's most influential doofuses for an emergency meeting about the terrifying powers of artificial intelligence. Antonio Margarita, influencer from Italy. Vladimir Borobashnakowski. Chad Speed. Jim. We catch up with them mid-dinner as Artie Fish tries his damnedest to get the influencer's attention.
Yes, that'll work. Thank you. Scram. Let's get down to brass tacks, boys. The real reason we're here. AI is it's a problem. It's going to kill us all.
It's hard to take you serious with the way your face looks right now.
I mean, you look like a fucking asshole. What are you talking about?
Oh, the only thing artificial is those fucking balls you call balls.
You look absolutely absurd.
You guys don't understand. You're not listening to me, okay? I'm wearing this because AI can hear your thoughts. It can get into your brain, guys.
You ain't got no fucking brain.
Once again, struggling to take anything you say serious. My team told me I should come to this. You look like he looks like a joke.
Like an absolute jerk-off.
Does this look like a joke? Huh? That's a nuclear bomb.
Nah, that's fake.
Just fucking like bad man puts marbles in plastic case.
You need a boom-ah, my friend.
You guys aren't listening. This right here, AI gave to me. A nuclear freaking bomb.
That's so good.
Told me the only way to save this screwed up world is to blow it up. Is this guy awake? Idiot.
Wake up, asswipe.
You wouldn't hit somebody with a
No, yeah, fuck.
No, don't you worry. This one is foolproof.
I doubt it.
I brought it here, boys. Not just for show.
What?
But because I'm going to blow up the world right now!
Holy shit! That's Jack Carr!
Turns out, that was an actual nuclear bomb. Arthur Isaac Fischel was going to blow the entire world up, and Jack Carr saved us all. It was his actual first shot. And Artie Fish is actually dead. Forever. Thank the Lord that Jack Carr sensed trouble. His new book, which is the 6th installment of the Terminalist series, Only the Dead, is currently available at all bookstores. You should buy it. As you just watched, he saved the world. Hell yeah, Jack Carr. Hell yeah.
But then as we learn more and more about you, and I think the Masters does a great job of telling stories, and that's why it is so big internationally, I'm a small swinger, half swinger as well. The reason why I do it is because I'm not athletic enough to make solid ball contact, so I have to shorten that thing down, and I'm nowhere near as flexible. I learned about you that your swing is like that potentially because you were born with club foot. Is that the true beginnings of why your swing is the way it is?
I've learned recently that when it comes to club foot, I'm in a less severe end of the spectrum based on the people I've met. But if I have to give you an image, I mean, if this is my leg and my foot, right? Looking from the side, my leg up until the ankle's fine, and then my foot was turned 90 degrees and then another 90 degrees this way. So the whole outside of my foot and the top of my toes were on the ground.
When was this? When you were a child?
I was born like that. Hey, buddy. Look,
What's up, buddy?
There you go. So,
how are you?
You want to bring me a chip? Look at that. You know that they were hungry.
Hell yeah, that's the most relatable thing. I'm keto. I can't eat that.
So the funny thing is, I was born with that, and then at the time, the process is they took my foot and broke it into place. So an specialist broke my ankle in place, cast it right away. My parents saw me with a cast on within 20 minutes of being born. What that did is, when you're growing so much, how you doing? Look at that. Don't cancel the show.
Now you do whatever you want.
When you're developing as a child so quickly, that leg didn't develop the same way. So from knee down, it's smaller. See you later, buddy. Go with him.
Hey, see you, dude.
He likes being on TV.
Hell yeah, you look very natural. And he's incredibly cute.
Yeah.
So from the knee down, just developed differently?
From knee down, my leg is a little shorter. For most Americans, about half an inch. And then my right foot is smaller as well, with very limited mobility. The way my ankle developed, it's barely anything. So for that reason, I had to get 2 surgeries to stretch my Achilles tendon to get a little bit more mobility. But even then, it's very, very, very limited. So when you're talking about loading your right hip in golf, my ankle can't support a full turn. Therefore, 3/4 swing. That's basically what it is in a nutshell. It helps to be a big enough athlete in golf to that still get the leverage to hit it long enough. But yeah, that's the way I have the swing I have.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston College.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football happened last night in a big way, and that's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. 14-year NFL icon is here, Adam Pac-Man Jones. And joining us live, after a rather large evening down at Duke University, the Duke Blue Devils were 3-9. Okay, then they hire this defense coordinator for Texas A&M. They go 9-4.
Damn.
Now in his second year as a head coach, they're 1-0 with a win over the Clemson Tigers, 28-7 last night, where people are calling it the biggest win in the history of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Duke Blue Devils football team, Mike Elco.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas? I got to get you to be my hype man, Pat.
Bro. You don't need me, pal. The numbers in your team are speaking for themselves. What a win last night, Coach.
Yeah.
What a win.
Yeah, it was a heck of a night. It was obviously for our program, that was something that was, truly special, and obviously to beat those guys in the opener, but just to have the environment we had, to have the turnout we had for Duke football from where this place was before I got here, to have the scene of us rushing the stadium and just to have our kids get to experience what college football should be like. That was pretty cool.
Well, not only after the game, before the game, you guys came out. This looks so cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know how cool. If you know how cool you guys look coming out, you look super cool. Like the team.
Well,
go ahead.
It's the one thing we can control, right? We got to look good to play good.
Amen. So let's start diving into that. You play good. Obviously, they pay good. We talked to Deion yesterday about the turnaround of Colorado and him finding his people. 86, obviously, new players. They get a big-time win over TCU. You had a similar flip with Duke last year. They're 3-9, then you go 9-4. How do you turn a program around? What is the key piece in your eyes in what you had to do to get that place believing, not only the team, but the entire university almost?
Yeah, I think we were in a little bit different situation. I think we had a lot of kids who maybe just needed a little bit different path and direction. And I think what we discovered really quick was we had a lot of really good kids that were really willing to do a lot to change the direction of this program and kind of change the perception of who they were. And so we were able to take the group that we had, give them a direction, mold them. I think we made some tremendous changes to strength and conditioning, to nutrition. Everybody who has come through here has said we look like a bigger, faster, stronger football team than we were before we got here. And we've just been able to take the kids that we had and instill confidence in them. And I think that's just kind of bled through the entire community, university, and everything.
Hell yeah. It's been fun to watch. Go ahead, AJ.
Where do you go from here? I know, you hear coaches talk about handling success. That sometimes that's the toughest thing. Now you guys have this big program-changing win. Now what does it look like? What's the rest of this week look like for you and the rest of your team?
Yeah, I tried to retire last night, but they wouldn't let me. So now it's about trying to get going on a short. Now we listen. We talk a lot around here about what it takes to be success and the steps that you have to go through. And, everybody wants to pat us on the back for every small victory along the way. But I think we're really, truly here for the long haul, and we're here to build something special. I think our kids are all in with that. And so, we had a great win last night, but, like every coach, there's things on that film that need to get corrected. There's big opportunities coming down the road for us. And, for us to get where we really want to go this year and make this a season, not a game. We got some things we got to fix and get better at. And so we'll go to work at that tomorrow and get ready to play again on a short turnaround this weekend.
Top of the ACC looks very solid this year. I mean, it's kind of happening everywhere in this modern NIL world, in transfer portal world. We assume that every program that is going to have success is going to utilize it. Duke, not easy to get into, right? That's a tough place. Has that been a problem for you, or how do you go about recruiting, I guess, to find your guys that can be Duke football players?
Yeah, I think we've used it the right way. I think the first thing we talk about all the time with the transfer portal around here is retaining our guys and keeping our guys out of it. And that's something we were really successful at. We have a starting quarterback who's extremely talented, and we had to make sure he stayed at Duke. We've got a left tackle who's extremely talented, and there's a bunch of other guys like that. That it was really important that we got them to believe and buy into what we were capable of doing here. And that's where it started. And then we were able to go out and add some pieces. We had two corners out there that played at a really high level at the University of Miami and at Texas A&M a couple years ago and had been dealing with some injuries. We had a kid start at right tackle for us who had been a multi-year starter at Stanford. And so we can plug and play and find some guys in some different areas that can come in and help. But, by and large, we're going to be homegrown and we're going to develop our culture through our own recruits.
Hey, built on stone. I mean, that's kind of how the greatest teams kind of figure it out. You mentioned your quarterback there, Riley Leonard. Quite a hello to the world last night for a lot of people that maybe didn't know him. I appreciate you saying, hey, we got to keep this guy here and figure out how to do that. Whenever you look at him as a player in the big picture, and obviously Scumbag didn't do his homework.
Yeah, that's right.
Scumbag didn't do his homework last night. I don't know if you know that. Get his ass running. I think didn't turn in his homework on time, had to do that. This guy's special, though. Huh? He made some plays last night that I think made a lot of NFL teams go like, wait a minute, you got a Duke kid. That means Duke brain. Mm-hmm. And he got some real moxie. And he was able to lead a team to beat Clemson. So behind the scenes, probably the right guy. What do we not know about Riley to those of us that maybe were just introduced to him in a big way last night?
Yeah, he's got an amazing ability to up his level at the exact right moments. If you go back and you look at last year, his three biggest games for us last year were against Jaden Daniels at Kansas, Drake May at North Carolina, and Sam Hartman at Wake. And those were the three biggest quarterbacks we played against last year. And then, last night coming into this stage, we knew he was going to find a way to make some plays for us. And obviously that run he had where he broke a bunch of tackles and went gallivanting down the sideline for a touchdown, man, that obviously changed the momentum of that game in a big way. And that's just who he is. He can make plays with his feet. He can make plays with his arm. And he just has a tremendous moxie about when to step this level up and make the right play.
Yeah, he looked cool, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That looked the part, too. Not only everything just – and I'm like, we haven't talked about this guy at all. Nobody's talking about it. Go ahead.
He's an interesting kid. He's a 3.9 GPA. He's quiet as can be off the field, man. But when he gets on the field, he's got a swagger and a confidence about him that, you'll run through a wall for that kid. And that's unique. It really is. And he's a unique, special kid.
Like Luke Kuechly used to have. Remember they talked about him? It was like going into a phone booth. This guy's actually Clark Kent. He has glasses on, super nerd. Then you get him on the field. It's an incredible – that's a great thing to have because that 3.9 GPA means, especially at the quarterback position, I can handle everything. I'm excited to see how the NFL people start chit-chatting about Riley, especially after last night. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Coach, obviously you're from Jersey, so you're a hard nose, and then you went to Penn and you were a ball hawk and hard hitting safety there, and you've always been on the defensive side of the ball as a coach. And you always had great defenses at Texas A&M, and then you came here and turned around the defense pretty quickly. Is it scheme, or is it like last night you could just tell you guys have 11 guys in the picture at all times? What is the key to success that you've always had great defenses?
Yeah, it's probably a combination of both of what you said about me. I think to me it starts with toughness and grit. I think there's some intangibles
at
defense that you have to have.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. At Duke.
Got to.
Yeah.
Hey, it never changes. The game of football is the game of football no matter where you're at. And, if you want to play good defense, you got to play with toughness and grit and all that stuff, and you got to have it. But then I think maybe a little bit within our scheme that's unique in how we utilize our pieces and try to put kids in positions to be successful and maybe have a little bit more of an evolving type scheme that can fit our personnel as opposed to just a blank playbook that's got to travel and we've got to recruit personnel to fit the scheme. We can kind of make this scheme fit around the types of players we have. And I think that's something we've been able to do over the years pretty successfully.
Go ahead, AJ.
Is that something that great coaches can do where you don't have to be stuck like, hey, this is what we do and we got to plug you into one of these spots? Like, is that especially, I guess, the future of college football too, to where, hey, we're going to recruit people and then bring them in, see what they do best and try to craft everything around them?
Yeah, I think it's maybe a little bit of both, but what I would say with me is it's my background. My first defensive coordinator job was the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Then I went to Hofstra. Then I went to Bowling Green. And, those were places where you had to take your pieces that you had and figure out how to best utilize them to be successful. I didn't cut my teeth in the SEC where we can go get every 5-star and come in and make him, So I think some of that just shaped me, I think then there's nothing wrong with either philosophy in my opinion. But I never was really at that place as I was learning how to put this defensive scheme together. And then for me, as I got to the places where we had the elite talent, still was able to evolve it the right way. And I think the Texas A&M kids really believed in what we did. And so it was interesting to just kind of see it all come together at each level that I've been able to do it.
They felt your effect whenever you left, and then Duke obviously felt your immediate arrival. 3-9, 9-4, 1-0. Ty has a question for you about all that.
Yeah, Coach, just curious, when you first took the Duke job, was part of the appeal like, hey, I have the opportunity to go to maybe the most historically strong blue blood basketball school and actually turn it into a football program? We all know the kind of boosters and excitement they have around the basketball team, but then you turn things around and start winning and people get excited about Duke football. Was that part of the appeal when you first took the job or no?
Yeah, I think it was two things. I think one, I think Duke is unique, and in this world of, you mentioned it, the NIL, the transfer portal, we feel like Duke has a little something different that we can sell, and we can get kids here to buy into what Duke stands for and what Duke can do for them beyond the game. And I think that helps us with roster control a little bit. And then, you look at, okay, well, then can you be successful? And that's where the basketball thing comes in. We have a lot of programs, and basketball is obviously the biggest one that compete at a really high national level. And when you see an athletics program that knows how to support a national premier program, then you believe that, okay, if I can just go in and get them on board with some of the things we need to tweak and change about football, hopefully we can get this thing up and over. And I think we've got great alignment with our administration right now and getting a lot of things done for these kids.
Yeah, I'd say it's working out.
Yeah.
I think it's working. I think it's working, Coach. Pac-Man Jones has something for you.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask the question. How hard is it to get these guys out the transport portal? You say you like to keep your guys. Deion went and got 78 brand new bodies. How hard is it getting these guys out the transport portal? And who had a bigger week than you? Did the Dukies have a bigger week, or did Colorado have a big week this week?
Hey, listen, we're far enough from Colorado that they can have a big week, and so can we.
Okay,
I'm staying out of that conversation. But no, we can get kids in. Obviously, Duke's a little bit of a different place in terms of academics and who we can get into school, but we don't have any bigger issues getting kids out of the transfer portal. I just think it's different. I think I think what Deion took over versus what I took over were just two different situations. We had enough kids here that we could build around and win with, and so we just decided to do that instead.
Hey, new AP top 25. You guys are 21. Colorado's 22. So
there you go.
I think
Duke wins the
we
week.
did.
I think you.
Hell yeah. Great weekend.
Connor has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned the team playing with toughness and grit, and then you also mentioned how, you want to hold on to the guys that you guys recruit and you don't want to, have them go into the portal. Is it hard to balance that when you're trying to, instill grit and toughness into a team? Like in practice, is it difficult to coach kids really hard while also trying to understand, like, hey, we still love this kid and want him to be around and we don't want him to leave?
Yeah, I think a lot of that is relationship driven. I think if kids these days know you care about them and know they can trust you, you can coach them in ways that they know you're developing them to be the best they can become. If it's just some of that old school mentality of like, do what I said just because I said it, I think that doesn't go quite as well nowadays. But I think we've got really good relationships in this building, and we spend a lot of time getting to know these kids and spending a lot of time with them. And I think that allows us the opportunity to kind of push their buttons because they know it's coming from the right spot in the right place.
Coach, what a time it was when Google didn't exist. Motherfuckers used to just say shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It used to just be, hey,
You didn't even have to know. You didn't even know if it was right.
No, yeah, you're from New Jersey. I mean, I couldn't even imagine Pittsburgh the same way. It's like, hey, why does this happen? Just a matter-of-fact answer that is so wrong and cannot be checked, and then just go about your life. It's a little different now, Coach. It's a little different now.
No, you got to be a little smarter with these guys. They can get a lot of information really quick.
Yeah.
And you lose all credibility immediately. You remember what that? Did you hear what this dipshit? That ain't right.
Check it out.
That ain't right at all. It's right here on my. See, I can't listen to anything you say for the rest of your life. You talked about nutrition and the weight room and everything, and obviously in college, the weight room is the place that you're living. I mean, that is obviously a huge piece of it. What type of lifting we do? We got Olympic lifting. What is the move and what's the nutrition? You got shakes and smoothies for everybody, and is that just standard operating procedure now at D1 football?
Yeah, I think from a lifting standpoint, we're Olympic lifting, and I think we're trying to move weight down there and build confidence through the amount of weight that we can do. And so, our kids know that when they go in and they work out, they're going to work out hard, and I think we've been pretty well documented on social media with what we're trying to do down there. And we hired Dave Feely from the University of Miami, and he's done a phenomenal job of just kind of building the culture down there. And the gains that we've made have been phenomenal. And I think from a nutrition standpoint, I don't think we're doing anything special. I think we were behind the times at Duke. I don't think we were doing it the way Notre Dame was or Texas A&M was. And I think that was something I noticed immediately was if we want to have a Power 5 football team and we want to compete in this league against teams like Clemson, we've got to do a much better job of exactly what you said, the shakes, the nutrition, the constantly monitoring how our kids are eating, training table, again, nothing that's not commonplace amongst the elite programs, but something we had to do to become an elite program or to challenge to become an elite program.
Speaking of being an elite program, man, this picture from last night after the win, those fans could not wait. They were standing on the side. They were standing in the end zone pretty much like, man, we got 3 scores. We're up by. We're absolutely dominant. This
is a beautiful thing, I think, for a coach who's trying to rebuild an entire culture. What did you tell the team afterwards in the locker room whenever, the quiet kind of finally came after this huge win?
Yeah, I mean, I just told them it's a testament to what people can do when they come together and they're willing to work for something. I think that's one of the things that maybe gets lost a little bit in society today with how much gets put on social media and how much emphasis gets put on what people say about you. You can still just work really, really hard and change who you are and change what you're all about. And I think our kids have done that. And I think last night was a huge testimony to that on the national stage.
Hey, you've done a great job down there, Coach. We appreciate the hell out of you taking time to chit-chat with us. And they're calling it the biggest win in the history of the program, people are saying.
Wow.
Well, now I got to go back to work and make sure we don't have the biggest loss in the history. So
it's a good idea.
I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always great to see you guys.
Hey, you too. We appreciate the hell out of you, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Mike Elco.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we got another game coming.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about
Win that one too.
Let's not bounce Dahn in everybody's. Top 25. They just released the AP. Colorado Buffaloes 22 in the country right now. The Duke Blue Devils 21 in the country right now. I do not know all the others. Those were just the information that I was fed via Zito on the other side. I saw some tweets kind of giving some stuff away. This is a big deal now because going into week 1 of college ball, I don't think we knew anybody.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know anybody. Like, a win right now that a team got that maybe we're not respecting in like 5 weeks could be like, hey, you remember they beat who's
crazy.
That college football has that a lot more than the NFL, I do believe. Here's top 25. Number 1, Georgia Bulldogs, the reigning back-to-back national champions. Then Michigan at 2, Alabama at 3, Florida State all the way up to 4, top 5. They look good. And then Ohio State obviously only wins by 20 at Indiana. That'll drop you down a little bit. SC, Penn State. That's what I'm talking about. West Virginia lost to the number 7 team in the country.
Yeah. Damn good team.
I got to keep that. I got to keep that in mind.
Damn good.
Moral victory. Moral victory.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as moral victories.
You almost accepted it, though.
Well, for this one, we got to.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's number 7 team in the country. Okay. Now, I would
built
like
some confidence. They built some confidence for sure.
Would I rather have the 7 next to our team's name? And has that happened in the past? Yes.
Sure.
Is that expected, I think, by some people? Yeah. But it's just not time. Penix spinning it at 8. Tennessee, 9. They're up 2 spots from 10. Good for Washington. Notre Dame and Sam Hartman at 10. Texas going into Alabama this weekend at 11. The Utes at 12. Oregon, LSU, Kansas State, Oregon State. Oh, DJ Uyunglele.
Above Drake May.
16. Drake May, North Carolina. I guess, he threw a couple picks. I don't know how they probably feel about South Carolina.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's probably a conversation. Oklahoma wins 73-zip. They're at 18. But they could all move quickly. If they continue to do that, they can move quickly up there. Wisconsin, good for old Fickle. Ole Miss Dukies at 21. Colorado, 22. Texas A&M. Top 25 for Jimbo. Love that. Tulane. And then Clemson still at 25.
Damn.
I think that's the Dabo effect. Everybody just assumes.
Where was Clemson before the loss?
9.
9. They had somebody had them at like 8, I think, or 7 too.
Coaches poll, maybe?
I think there's been, they were way up there. Way up there.
The best
I
team.
mean, coaches of their own teams don't really know what they have until you play a couple games.
I think Georgia knows.
At least, I mean,
I think Georgia knows. I think
kind
Alabama.
Kind of a factory.
I think Alabama was pretty pumped whenever they saw Milroe complete some passes.
Drop a ball, pick it up, run it 40 yards.
Shake people.
And score.
Still have the wiggle and complete some passes. He seemingly got better. Let's hope he makes great decisions as well. I think Alabama knows.
So just a quick count. I think Pac-12 and SEC both have 6 in the top 25. So
congrats to the Pac-12.
There it is.
Couldn't get a deal done.
That's unbelievable.
Why? Why does that happen?
Makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Just as somebody who, enjoys the business aspect of things, I don't know how that one slips through the cracks.
Nope.
You know what I mean? That's like
how anything happens. Yeah, I couldn't. If I didn't have YouTube TV, I wouldn't have been able to watch the game last night. Like old school Spectrum box I have, it's not on. I have to go to YouTube TV and watch.
Okay, so coffin flop obviously is what caused the big issue between Corncob TV and I think Spectrum.
Yes, no, it was those two. Yeah, I took it down.
Yeah, because what?
You said coffin flop?
Yeah. We're not.
I was thinking of another. I was thinking of a different coffin situation where somebody rode one out of a thing.
Also,
but that's
some people say
We
that's
won't-
where Coffin Flop was born.
Talking about when the Big Show hopped on top of that?
Yep. Mhm.
That was a sturdy coffin.
It was.
Have we ever talked about that before? We've never really mentioned that.
The Big Show hopping on top of a coffin?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You're
You
talking
guys
about
ever seen that? It's pretty good.
You're talking about Big Boss Man?
Yeah.
I think if I remember, he puts a chain on.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I think maybe last week we may have revisited this.
Was there a cop
I don't know
car?
if you, 'cause you didn't see what
It was
happened
a cop car.
last
old
night
school
thing.
cop car.
Because The Miz fought someone.
The Miz fought an invisible guy last night
Oh,
and
man.
won.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can I watch it? please?
Yes.
I had no idea. I had never
Shout
heard
out
of
to
that.
Stu, cameraman as well. He's the first person documented in TV history who captured an invisible man on camera.
Unreal.
That's what Stu does, baby. That's what Stu does.
Wait, was this a way to get Miz a victory? Is that what we're doing?
There was
It
no
wasn't
actual
sanctioned.
match. It wasn't a sanctioned match.
Oh,
No,
my
it
bad.
was a
I thought it
sit
was a real
down.
thing.
It was a real thing.
It did happen.
Oh, okay. So he actually fought an invisible man.
Boom.
Beat the shit out
You
of
think
an
it's a
invisible
joke? This is Stu on the camera. This is John Cena.
Second.
You don't see
There
him.
he is. You
He's
see
right
him.
over there.
Yep, moving around.
Just did not reach my algorithm.
Right there. He's all right,
Where's
Stu.
Miz? Where's-
Let's go to
where's
work, Stu.
Get
It's
his other
time.
side.
And then the Miz, obviously he was a guest on Miz TV. John Cena was.
Yep.
Came out here.
Here it is.
Let's go to work, Stu. And here at John Cena full sprint.
Boom.
Up on the thing,
Into the
slides
ring.
in.
Boom, there he is.
Throws the
Ooh.
ropes, throws the hat. Boom, there he is. Miz, obviously everybody's pumped about this. Have a seat, he says.
Miz is awesome.
So good.
Not just Miz. Somebody thought of this idea.
Yeah.
Well, and you
I
should hear
mean, that's
Cole.
my favorite part.
You should hear Cole now too. Cole was awesome.
I can't see.
Can't see him. Where is he?
So who's the invisible guy he's yelling at?
John Cena.
Come on.
Oh,
Hey.
my bad.
Yeah,
No,
you can't-
Cena.
AJ?
Yeah.
Can't see me. My time is
But
now.
John Cena, by the way, even as the invisible man that he was, he gave Miz some lip.
Yeah,
He did.
I mean,
He did.
it
And
gets
they got
better.
into it at the
It
end.
gets a lot
He
better.
punches
from there.
him.
They got into a full fight
Yeah.
at the end of this. Oh,
Wait, is there another voice coming back at Miz? Can we hear somebody going at Miz?
No.
look how pissed he is.
Never should have turned his back
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
no,
Miz.
he won't do it.
Oh, my God.
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Miz, you
I'll
got no
bring it back.
bar. Oh, he missed him. Ducked him. Grabbed him. Boom! Skull crushing finale
Holy shit.
to John Cena. There is a holy shit chant that
Yeah.
comes immediately after.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, when did this happen? When did
Last
this happen?
night.
Oh, I'm so happy.
With the writers,
FaceTime the Miz. FaceTime the Miz.
with the writer's strike, he should get a fucking Oscar.
Cena
for this.
ducks him. Yeah, oh my God.
And boom! What's up, John? What's up, John?
I'll tell you what, the Miz does not tiptoe into anything. He's jumping in full go.
I mean, that is one of the greatest segments of television in the history of the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stu, really did you?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. it sounded
They
like
were
Bert.
dying backstage.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
my God.
Everybody backstage was having the time of their life. That needs to win an award.
Yes.
That needs
Best
to win an
actor.
award. Can we put the fight between Miz and Cena back up, please, so I can watch it one more time? Because Cena's quick as the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going to duck.
Big
Hey, we're live. We are live. We are live. We're
live. That's great. I'm in an airport, so awesome.
yeah, but
Hold on.
But
Yeah.
as a guy who has lost 245 straight matches, right?
Thank you for that. I appreciate that you're keeping record of how many times I've lost.
Well,
in WWE.
it's just true. As a guy who has lost 245, you beat the shit out of Cena last night, bro.
Man.
I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen anything like that. Way to go, Miz. Way to go.
Look, I don't care if it's real Cena, invisible Cena. I'll take him down each and every time, no doubt in my mind, every day, all day. It's just the type of person I am.
Yeah, but how about he ducked you there? You went for a lariat. He ducked you, and then
yeah.
you had to kind of bounce back. Did you expect that?
How dare him push me in that ring? Like, you don't come into my ring in WWE on Monday Night Raw and come onto my show, Miz TV, and push me. And then, luckily, I couldn't believe he ducked my swing. That was one thing that I couldn't even believe. But then once he swung at me, I know what's happening. I know the skull-crushing finale is happening. Drop him out. And after the promo, I threw him out of the ring because that's the type of man I am. That is my ring. That is just what I do.
I don't think. Bro, how gratifying was that? Did you have a couple cold ones last night to celebrate what you did to Cena there?
Why?
I did not, actually. I had some water. I had a good night's sleep, and now I'm actually at the airport. I'm going to find a gym, work out, and then I have a couple drafts today for fantasy football. And honestly, I've had a couple.
What's your team name?
And I have Kelsey in one of my leagues. I'm a little nervous because I just heard that he hyperextended his knee. Might not play week 1 against the Detroit Lions. I kind of need Kelsey to step it up. Put a little ice on it, maybe a little dirt, and get out there week 1 and show me some stuff.
All right, I don't know if he's going to be able to take you serious with what you did last night, but we will certainly relay the message. I appreciate the hell out of you, Miz. You're the man. That was
always, buddy.
You should win an award for last night. You and Stu both.
Thank you. By the way, how great was Stu?
Oh.
How great was that camera work?
I don't know how he captured him. I couldn't see him. He had him, though. I don't know how he did that.
Because he's done it so many times that, Stu can see him just like I can.
Did the crowd see him? I didn't hear the reaction. Did the crowd see him?
Do you not watch the show? I mean, how do you not hear the reaction?
Wow, Clemson lost at Duke last night.
I got holy, obviously I don't think you can swear in your show, but holy S chants.
What? Holy
S?
Stupid? They were saying holy
stew?
Yes, holy stupid. Holy smokes. Yes, that's what they were saying. Holy smokes.
Holy smokes. Oh, okay.
Oh, were you smoking cigs? Did you like? What did they say though? You can say it. They said what?
Oh, they said holy shit chants.
Oh! S-word. Look at you. You got holy shit chants?
Look at me. Look at me. I took off my jacket and they started saying holy shit with an invisible person. That's how good I am. How good I am, bro. I'm real good.
All right,
so how's life right now for you? How's life for you? How you feeling?
I'm great, especially after watching you wrestle an Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Football's back. How excited are you and the boys?
We're pumped.
Very.
Watch the show. Yeah, just watch the show one fucking time. Watch the show. All right, we lost service.
Oh, okay. What are you gonna do?
We lost service.
It's been doing that today. Kirk was choppy too.
Yeah.
We know why.
I was crying tears.
Why?
Both now while watching that and whenever I saw it on the internet last night. Just the amount of commitment from so many people.
How did they set it up? But how did they set it up to where Cena was invisible? How did that happen?
Well, Cena LA Knight, then Miz,
Payback.
He was a ref. It's a full thing. Cena's been.
But this is the first time we've had an invisible match, though. Correct?
I assume wrestling has had this before, just because wrestling is the greatest thing of all time. But this is the first Invisible Man. Oh, I didn't even see him push him. He did shove the shit.
He slapped him first.
Can you go back to the beginning of this? This is the beginning.
Oh my goodness!
He threw his head. Didn't slap him. He threw his head. See that? That's what I thought.
Yeah. Look at him.
Oh, push.
Whoa.
You son of a bitch. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Not gonna do it.
Nah, it's my show. Too good of a guy. Whoa, he's Cena. He's Cena. I did it. That's what I thought. Throw the mic at him. We're not going to catch you. Look how upset he was.
I'd be pissed too.
Cena tried him.
Yep. Can't do it.
Wrestling's the greatest, dude.
Yeah.
Wrestling is the greatest. Laughing, crying to myself while watching that last night.
So good.
Oh.
Man.
Thank you.
I hope his kids watch. I hope Mrs. Kids watch him wrestle. Who'd you wrestle tonight, Dad? Oh, John Cena.
They're in the biz.
Check it out.
Mom's in the biz.
They know.
They've been around buildings. They understand.
Yeah.
What dad have to do tonight for work? Wrestle an invisible man.
What?
I won. Don't worry.
It was a real man. Count that as a win, kids. Let's go to some phone calls here. Let's go to Steven in Italy. Paisano, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, boys? Keep it moving.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Grazie, prego.
Doesn't sound it.
Gabagool.
There you go.
We sure he's in Italy?
Hey, question I got for you guys. Big Seahawks fan, and with the Seahawks drafting gold these past 2 years for Charles Cross, Kenneth Walker III, Tariq Woolen, JSN, Witherspoon, and then I got Geno breaking the Seahawks single passing yards with Tyler Lockett and DK with Jamar's Charles coming back. How does one expect me to believe the Seahawks are not going to be absolute dogs this year?
Steven, where do you live at in Italy? Why do you live over there?
I'm in Naples. I'm in the military.
Oh, we appreciate your service, pal. How is it over there?
No, love it, man. Pizza, everything is great about it.
Nice. Foxy got engaged over there. He said pasta, pasta, pasta.
So much pasta.
All right, Steven agrees. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, he's probably eating pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or pizza.
Well, I mean, it is a nice observation that Italy has pasta, but the way Foxy described it is like...
No, you legitimately can't get anything else but pizza or pasta. I'm not being exaggerating at all.
It's like rice
You
and
can get
China.
fish. There's fish everywhere.
And fish
isn't there?
and seafood. Yes, you're correct.
What part of
Is there
Italy?
salad?
You've been to Italy?
Just Rome, I believe. That's the only spot.
Just Rome, I believe.
Oh, we roaming
Back in the
around.
day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, why
I
you
got to
say
see
it
the
like that?
Coliseum like 12 years ago. I got to go see the Coliseum.
Is he going there for the Ryder Cup? Is he invited back to the?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Man, I wish. That'd be sweet, wouldn't it?
Well, they need your moxie, I think, on the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I would agree.
Plus, if Draco Malfoy goes under again, they're going to need someone to resuscitate him.
That's crazy that happened. Right?
Yeah.
Weren't you
Yeah.
there for that?
Kelly Slater basically saved him, yeah.
That's crazy.
Really, very
Swimmer?
Surfer, asshole.
Surfer,
Oh, okay, because
tone.
surfers can't swim.
Well, of course he can swim. He's a surfer.
Exactly. So who was wrong?
I feel like you probably were.
You're not you're technically not wrong, Tone. You did kind of dig yourself out of that.
Well, which is classic. Tone things.
Oh boy, Tone.
That's another thing that ESPN's going to have to get used to.
Yep.
He did say that, but remember, just 30 seconds later,
He clarifies.
there was
And a swimmer.
people ain't going to do that. You know what I mean?
No.
People ain't going to wait on
This asshole in the cowboy hat's gone too far.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, Coach Elco was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
He's a beast. They're going to be very good.
High energy, too, look like.
Yeah.
He seems to get it. He seems like he gets it.
Yeah.
Jersey tough guy too. Went to Penn, so he understands the big brain stuff. Like, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to be smart to get into Duke, obviously, but also we can still be tough guys and football guys, which I love. Because some people utilize the excuses. We can't get guys in here. Can't get guys in here. Can't get guys in here. Elko's like, you just got to get the right guys. You know, Stanford was able to do that for a long time.
Yeah.
Stanford was the pipeline for super smart, good football players, and then that just kind of fizzled out. Those guys exist.
Yeah.
You got to be able to find them. I think Elko is like, hey, we're going to find them, we're going to develop them, and we're going to be a good football team. What a place for him to have success, too.
Unreal.
They got big money down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more easier these days, too, because you don't have to take the SCT or the ACT. All you got to do is have a good grade point average. So
I think
it's kind of easier to get dogs.
Oh, really?
I think that's different at places like Duke, though.
No, it's not.
Really?
You don't
That's
have
awesome.
to take SAT to go play college football in no school.
Did COVID change
Now,
all that, Pat?
yeah, it did. Your grade points average have to be really high to go to Duke. You might have to have a 3.8 or 3.9. You can't have no C's on your report card. But, like, as far as taking the test, you don't have to take a test to get in no more.
That's amazing news. I would have been fucked. The test was the thing that got
Yeah, the
me.
test
Yeah, that's the
was
stuff
hard.
that helps.
Yeah, the test was the one that helped.
January of this year, they said you don't need an SAT or ACT score to play.
That is a big deal.
That is huge, dude.
Yeah.
What about for other people? What about someone that's not going to play sports and they just want to get in because it's impossible to get into most of these schools?
Well, I don't think,
Well, you
I
gotta
don't
call
think
that
you
guy.
go by the same rules
Yeah.
if you're not playing sports.
Go through the back door.
Yeah, side door.
Side door. You got to go through the side door. You got to be on the
But I'm
crew
saying, I know
team.
people with like 3 9s and 17 million extracurriculars that don't get into these good schools.
Yeah, well, they
Crazy.
should have had a 4.0, so fun time.
Exactly.
Whose fault is it?
Every kid applying has all that.
I've thought about that with my
Yeah.
with my daughter. You know, I didn't take school serious,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if I'm going to change my stances on that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how I will enforce to her that she has to do this. This is just something you have to do, and you might as well get straight A's if you're going to do it. But those parent-teacher conferences are certainly going to be something. I can't wait for that because with the way schooling is now, there's a lot of people getting homeschooled and shit now too, right?
Yeah.
Because COVID?
Probably, yeah.
COVID is really, I think it's like kind of, right? Hasn't it come
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You going to do the homeschool thing? It's a lot of work.
Tebow was homeschooled. I mean,
I learned that on that doc. He was playing for a high school while being homeschooled. And at the high school, like talking, he was the leader. I'm surprised those kids were like,
Who
but
the fuck is this guy?
you're gonna,
That homeschool shit, no. COVID was enough for me. Your ass is getting up out of here, buddy.
yeah, I don't know how.
They need to.
I think that's when teachers kind of realized they had a little leverage.
Yeah.
Because every parent got to experience what their life is. Now, they signed up for it, knew what it was like.
Yeah.
They went to school for it and everything like that. And they get to experience, like, I'm not diving into that whole world.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of teachers are like, oh, now you see what our life is like. Okay, now's a good time to say, we need a little more money.
Yep.
We need a little bit more say. We need a little bit more of this. And a lot of parents are like, yeah, as long as I don't have to sit at home and do this whole thing again, well, whatever the fuck you want. And then there's other parents going, I'm in charge. I'm in charge of what my kids learn at your school. It's like, whoa, feels like this is something that's just going to continue to kind of boil completely, and then it's going to explode. And I think that's slowly happening right now, right?
Yeah.
If my algo is showing some accurate stuff. School board meetings, people yelling.
School board meetings are huge. Yeah, like people are crazy about school board stuff.
Yeah, they're real deal now. People are treating them like they're running for president. People are treating school board speeches to the school board as if it's like an election campaign.
Wild. They actually have power, though. I think COVID made everyone realize, these actually, the local stuff, that's where you can actually make some change. If you want to change something, that's how you figure it out. Man, I don't dive into that world, but I know a lot of people that they get inundated, and that becomes their identity. Like figuring out who to get elected to the school board and then what they want for their. It's crazy.
Well, good luck to everybody figuring that out.
Yeah. Well, AJ would know too. I mean, he's putting together his office right now.
What's that?
With the Secretary of Ohio and Defense of Ohio. And
So do you and Herb Street have half crowns that you wear?
I think Herby has the crown for sure.
No, you also have. Would it be a half crown? And when you guys come together, it's like the ultimate. Like everybody goes, OH.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's how it is.
Okay.
Is it like the Dwight Howard ring that goes on the Rolls Royce that starts the car at the front? Is that what your head and Kirk's head are like whenever you guys combine in there? Because you're both the presidents of Ohio. Is it OH on your head and then IO on Herby's head? And who decides who gets O and who gets O? You know what I mean? Who decided that? What is it like with the crowns that you guys were given?
What presidents were? You say we're the presidents of Ohio, correct?
Yeah, but Ohio's a dictatorship, obviously.
Yeah, right. And your royalty now. That's why the crown.
I don't know, man. You'd have to ask Kirk about all this.
He had other stuff to think about.
Kirk has relation. He's been how many years at game day? 27.
I think it's 28.
Yeah. Think of the people he knows. Kirk knows everybody.
When I'll say something about college football, like, my natural reaction is just to think this about this, Herby will be like, come on, bub. That's not, And I'm like, well, that would make sense. Come on. And he's like, when he says that type of stuff, I'm like, this guy's probably seen this thing happen probably 1,000 times over the last 30 years and just be like, nah, this is how this is going to go. It's fascinating whenever he has been the face of college football and here's him on a stage with you, Vrabes, Gonzo.
That's Schlags?
Nugent.
That's Mike Nooch?
Yeah, Sonny Younger banquet. It's the thing my Centerville High School does to honor the guy that died in Vietnam that played for Centerville.
Well, thank you for your service, sir, who went to Vietnam. And look how young. Is this shortly there? Look at your fucking head.
I know. I just got in the league here. I think it was maybe after my first year. Vrabes was still playing. Vrabes was amazing, by the way, that whole night.
So I assume Vrabes was awesome, but Vrabes is a big guy. Vrabes is a big guy.
Yeah, huge.
He's huge.
This looks like an Ohio chief of staff meeting.
Yeah.
It really does.
Truly.
Look at Gonzo.
This guy is going to get run out of town.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Doesn't know it yet.
Doesn't know it yet. This guy's going to have a great career, do his thing. This guy's going to be a head coach of an NFL team and considered tough guy, big guy.
Yeah.
Look how fucking large. Look at this. Bro.
I think it's just perspective of where the picture was taken, right?
You're furthest away from the camera. So it should be the opposite, actually.
This isn't a Centerville thing either, Zito said. The internet says this is Ohio Hall of Fame thing, obviously.
Nope. It is Sonny Younger banquet, but yeah.
Okay, well, the internet's lying.
Look at Kirk's chair. Look at Kirk's chair. It's a Centerville painted chair that says his name on it.
Well,
they auctioned him off. They auctioned him off after to raise money.
So, because your cheeks were on this one, they were auctioning it off?
No, I think mine's a Center. No, mine's Packers. But we signed them, and they probably made $20 on them. Who knows?
$20. Someone from Ohio is buying the chair that AJ Hawk's nutsack was on for $2,000.
Could you imagine this one? I mean, geez.
Yeah, Braves.
Bro, though, let's. Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah, it does look pretty large in there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
I'm okay with it.
I wonder if that's why you got drafted.
Probably. Yeah. Holy shit, look at this guy's head.
Probably.
Who want to hit that?
Holy shit.
I should try to lose like 90 pounds and then just have a big bobblehead sitting on top of my body.
I showed you the picture whenever I got down to 205 or whatever.
Oh, you did? Yes.
My head looked like an actual bobblehead sitting on top of my body, but my head's never looked like that.
No, not many has.
That's the only thing you can see on this photo. Like, Herb Street looks like he's 12.
He does.
Looks like Jordan Speed.
Gonzo looks the exact same.
He does.
Gonzo looks Gonzo's been a 45-year-old man for about 30 years now. Nugent's a dog, obviously dressed incredibly cool. Vrabes looks so thin.
Oh, yeah,
he does.
I didn't know Vrabes got this thin. Was this while you still playing?
Yeah, I think he was still in the Patriots then. He hadn't even gone to the Chiefs.
Look at those shoes, Vrabel, too.
Dude, so many cigs. How many cigs do you think before or after this thing?
I don't know if there's other ones. We rode in a limo from Columbus to one of these events, and it was a good time.
Dolphin, I think it was 2 packs.
Yeah,
a lot of cigs.
With
with a vape
in
and
between.
Zyn.
Yeah.
He's the best.
It was awesome. I'm like, this dude is so awesome. And then you look at you. You're 2 of him. You are 2 of him right there.
Well, I mean, that's an extra boxy, gigantic suit from circa 2007.
Don't matter.
You love those.
How much did you weigh here?
I did back when they were big.
How much did you weigh here, you think?
Probably 245.
Jesus.
What do you think Vrabes was? 225? 230?
No, Brabe's like 250, man. Brabe's like 6'5".
Oh, yeah, I guess his knees.
Yeah, they are protruding a little more.
You see him. He's a giant.
He's at a
He
90.
is a giant. That's what I'm saying. Look at you, dude. You're
Nuge's head is just so big.
so big.
Yeah, well, Nuge doesn't have a very big head.
Well, and his feet also don't touch the floor. He's got to really lean forward. Neither would mine. I'm not. It's not a shot at all. That was not meant to be a shot.
Anyways, Ohio has created some great things. This
Yeah.
is one of them.
Yeah.
And that head is maybe the largest of all time.
So big.
Thank you.
Herb Street's got a lot of Jordan Spieth in him.
He does, doesn't he?
Just for some
Kind of.
reason, when I glance over there, it's like
That's what Herby looks like this year, by the way. Herbie's, he's real.
Cut
Have you
down.
seen him?
Yeah, but so what did he say? He last year he said, "Oh, I just prepared." Is he saying he didn't do anything? He didn't eat right and he didn't work out? Is that what he was trying to tell us?
I think like towards the end, he got a little because every time you get tired, you get lazy, you know. And when you travel a bunch, you're naturally going to get tired. So then you get lazy. Some people, there's some people who are just
No, it's easy, especially if you're traveling a lot. It's easy to eat poor too. Oh, yeah, here we go, and just grab whatever.
pizza's available at every single place you go to. Like, hey, a snack here is available, food's here available. So I think maybe he did that, and then I don't know. I don't remember him getting too big last year. Do you?
I don't remember him. Yeah, I don't.
But I assume
Good for him.
there was a full meeting afterwards, either with him or somebody else, where it's like, I need to figure out how to maintain energy through fall. And their first answer is, because I've had this question to people, I'm like, hey, I need to figure out how to maintain my energy through fall. It's absurd. And it's like, not going to be able to dial back the schedule. So that's not an answer. So like, need another answer. Like, what do you put in your body? How much are you working out? Like that whole thing. I wonder if Kirk had one of those, because it is certainly, paid off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out more. That's what I've been told, is you work out more, that'll happen. But my body's going a different direction than his. His body's going into H&M model. He looks really good right now. Really good.
Yeah, you could tell when he pulled up that photo. He probably looked at that national championship photo multiple times, like the gobbler on my neck.
Because I didn't say it. I didn't notice anything. And then
Me
he said
neither.
it. Like, that's funny. He's the first thing he notices. I'm like, I guess that's
That was probably a full-on conversation he was having all season.
Yeah,
where he was
probably.
like,
I assume.
I mean, that is so rude.
What did he say?
What
did you say, Con?
So rude.
What? The gobbler?
Not what he said.
No, your amateur sketch that you just did. Right?
No. That is just what I
Connor
saw.
said the
on
reason
internet.
why Herby is dieting is because this is what he used to look like and drew on the dry erase board.
No.
Let's go ahead and show.
Show the
Why don't you show the people?
All right,
Show
well,
the
let's turn
people.
Java so we can actually get a good look
Let's
at
go
it.
ahead and show.
Show
This
the
is
people.
not a reflection
Come
of
on,
what I
Con.
thought. This is what people were saying Herby looked like last year.
Yeah, see?
And I did not make this as a.
This is
as
what
a
we gotta
slight
deal with, AJ.
To Herby, this was not a mean thing to Herby.
mean,
this
come
is
on.
what people said he looked like.
Herby's a good guy.
I
great
love
guy.
Herby.
Unbelievable.
I love Herby like a father. However, this is what people
got
said
good
he looked
boys.
like last year.
I'm
Nice
just.
joint, Connor.
He's got good sons, good boys.
Good
He
boy.
does have good boys.
People
Good
have
father.
People have no idea. Like, there'll be somebody giving an answer when we go to a widescreen on a one shot, and somebody's giving an answer, and Ty or Connor or Tone will just have an idea that they think everybody needs to see right now. So they'll write it on that dry erase board and then just slowly turn it up. And it's just something either despicable, toxic, or very real about what's happening. And we all have to turn our heads away from microphone while this person's spilling their soul and do a full on, and that's going to be on ESPN. That's what's going to be on ESPN.
Hell yeah.
Also on ESPN, I just saw this news, and The Miz
alluded to it. Travis Kelce has hyperextended his knee in practice today. This is obviously a big deal. Their game is on Thursday. It's just 2 days away. The misfortune here of the Kansas City Chiefs losing their number one weapon potentially for opening night on a Tuesday practice just days before the kickoff is incredibly sad. He's obviously 33 years old. He's going to be turning 34 during this season. He is their best weapon. He's on track to be the greatest tight end of all time. Now we're staring down a hyperextended knee. Who knows the different degrees or variations of the hyperextension, because it can happen. Does it hurt a ligament? Does it stretch a joint? Does it do this? Is there a bone bruise now because of the hyperextension? It's like, we don't know any of that information, but what I do know is Chris Jones seemingly not playing for the Chiefs on Thursday night, and now Travis Kelce potentially not playing on Thursday night for the Kansas City Chiefs. If I'm the brand new Lions, you're obviously pumped up about this, but the rest of us are bummed that we're missing out on two of the greatest players in the NFL on showcase night potentially. We hope he's okay, AJ.
Yeah, so it's Tuesday, game is Thursday. Unless it is very, very minor, I don't know how he's going to play, especially the fact that Andy Reid had to mention it as well, because was media there? Did media see it happen, or they just self-reported, obviously?
I'm not 100% sure. If it's self-reported, then we know it's definitely something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Well, it can't be.
What's that?
Was there
yesterday? Football gods put it on you.
Yeah.
Well, season has started.
True.
Oh shit.
So once-
So this
once
is
picked once.
That's probably.
These are
Did they have
last
to put an injury
sacrificial
report out?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 days before the game. Probably got to do a up-down thing here.
So that's why you got to, So that, okay, man.
Also, week one. I don't know if the Super Bowl champs are too concerned.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
might conserve him for the push he run if he does have to miss a few.
17 games. Obviously, we don't have to remind people that know that, and obviously, we assume missing the first one here, maybe the second one, depending upon the seriousness of this. And I don't want to say he's old, but older,
played a long time.
Who knows how? And he seemed to be healthy, and he's in great shape, and his body bounces back quicker than others. We would hope and assume, but a hyperextension of the knee could be so many different things in there could happen. Because when my knee hyperextended, I actually dislocated my patella. Had a dislocated patella for like 9 weeks. It was terrible. But with the patella kneecap bouncing around on the outside, it also chipped some different stuff off. I think I had a meniscus tear because of it and some other stuff. So it's like, obviously, I don't think he hyperextended his knee so bad that he had patella dislocation. But like, there's so many things in there that could get fucked up from a hyperextension. I guess we just have to sit and see here about what it is and how severe. But that's not fun.
No, it sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, one of the guys you spend money to see.
Yeah.
Is Travis
One
Kelce.
of the guys you rob banks to go watch.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not just some guy here.
No.
Seasons.
What other tight ends do they have on the roster?
Blake Bell still there?
There's not another Hall of Fame on there.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one Kelce.
And then I think it's Jody Fortson, 88. He's a big son of a bitch, too. But again, he's not Travis Kelce.
What was it? It was 6.5. Now it's 6. The Chiefs were favored by 6.5. After the Kelce injury, I saw one book at least that moved it to 6.
That's it.
So half a point for Travis Kelce.
Well, they don't know that he's out yet.
True.
I think if he gets, I figured we were talking if it would have been like, hey, he's out, I think it would have went to 4.5. No good.
Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, Blake Bell, Jody Fortson on IR. So Noah Gray is the backup. Okay. All right. Might be able to make some plays there. I think we're all kind of assuming he's not playing on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the fact that we heard about it, that's what makes me worry, the game on Thursday.
Yeah, 17 games, 16 left after this one. Travis Kelce ain't going to like that.
They doing a walkthrough tomorrow.
Remember?
Then you're playing Thursday.
Yeah.
Practice
How'd he get
over
hurt?
with for the
Did he get hurt today?
Yeah.
Didn't this
it
happen
said today.
Didn't this happen 2 days before the game when Nance accidentally leaked that he was hurt, like his back or something was hurt before? Was it a playoff game? And he
Might have been the
ended up playing?
Jaguars game.
But now,
Playoff game,
obviously, the playoff game is different than week 1 of the year. But
What are they doing, though? He can hyperextend his knee.
Yeah,
Go.
did he come down?
Fluke thing. You get stuck in a hole and you get like over your foot stuck, and it pops back. That happens.
One of those where it's just like a quick pop.
Or sure they did some kind of practice on Monday.
Today was probably a walkthrough.
Yeah, but today he got
They
hurt.
probably did like a light jog through.
Today may be Fast Friday,
Last
right?
Friday, right? And then tomorrow they off.
The Kansas City Chiefs superstar tight end Travis Kelce injured his knee during the team's Tuesday session at the team's practice facility at the Truman Sports Complex. So far, little was known about it. Speaking to reporters immediately after practice, head coach Andy Reid was reluctant to give detail. They're looking at it now, explained. We'll see how it goes. Reed did, however, say Kelsey's injury happened right in front of him. He hyperextended his knee, said the coach.
Damn.
All right. So
that sucks.
Scott Moore said he saw Travis Kelce limp off the field on his own power. A sign Moore believes the injury is not too serious. We won't get official injury, statuses.
I mean, if he's limping, why would they even risk it? It's one game. We want to see it because it's the first NFL game of the year, but why the fuck would they put? Damn it.
The
Why
next
would they-
guy steps in and we roll, says Andy Reid. That's what you do if that's the case. Reid said that if it turned out that Kelce would not be available for Thursday night's season opener against Detroit Lions at Arrowhead, the team would do what it always does. Next guy step in, so we roll. So,
Sound like somebody.
He's not playing.
yeah, feels like he's probably not playing.
No
and that
way.
sucks, dude.
Yeah, but why would they try to push him through if he has anything lingering like that? You're not going to do that week one. They get it.
It does set up too for just a Mahomes masterclass.
Yes, it does.
They might roll out there and just go 4 wide the entire game. He might just pick them apart.
Us on Friday, you see what he was doing with guys we never even heard of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we never even heard. This is an Aaron Rodgers type thing. It's a Tom Brady type thing. Obviously, Travis Kelce, whenever he gets back in the lineup, is going to be able to go crazy. But last night, what was that guy's name?
Rasheen
What was the guy
Rice?
who won for 185
Yeah.
yards?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could certainly see that happen.
Yeah.
But hopefully, Travis Kelce gets healthy. Hey, pulling for you, buddy.
Or they put a tackle at tight end and they run the ball 65 times.
That'd be awesome if that's what Andy Reid wanted to do.
I'd be so bummed.
I do like the West Virginia team did the Andy Reid ring around, right?
That was cool.
That was fun.
One guy almost kicked the ball.
That was the time to do it.
I'm happy we wasted it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
Put on
more.
film, make him worry about it.
No, Neil Brown's got more.
Yeah. That wizard.
If you think that's the
Kidding
last
me?
one Neil's got.
Oh,
A bag full of tricks.
Ooh.
Saving it for the Duquesne game.
Exactly. When they'll really need him.
Go Dukes.
Down 3 on that last drive.
Stop it.
Jeez.
Just
Please stop it.
possibility.
You know what they say though? If Garrett Green's got the ball in his hands on the last drive, they're gonna win that ball.
Yeah, don't let Garrett Green have the ball in his hands on that last drive.
Thanks,
That's
Connor.
what they say.
Thanks for reiterating the fact.
I know, that's what they say. Because
Doesn't sound like you believed it at all.
Well, after the fucking clinic, God damn it. After the clinic he put on.
Well, God damn it, too.
Yeah, I
probably
can't say
tough.
God damn it.
What?
Yeah,
No, you
GD.
can't say it, but like you're gonna just piss people off.
I know.
You need to know that every GD you.
That one I can live with.
Yeah, but like also, yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah,
come on.
Sure, but I'm not. Yeah, that's one. That's not negotiable, my friends. God damn, it's flying. How about
Great
that?
win.
All right.
Shout out God.
You got any
He's
eligibility left?
Thank you, buddy.
He's with us.
Thank you, buddy. I should have played quarterback back in the day, but I didn't take life serious enough to be a leader of any teams.
That happens.
Be a quarterback. It's a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to have that type of responsibility,
That's right.
just like the one we're given on Thursday.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait.
Goddamn right.
We're given a lot of power on Thursday. We're the first people, I think, in a long time. This is a real deal. First people in a long time who have been given full creative control for 10 hours on ESPN each week. Okay? This is a real deal. Let's enjoy the hell out of it.
Yes, sir.
Let's have a blast. Let's have a great football season. And we will see you all on Thursday when we're back. We'll be live on this YouTube. We'll be live on ESPN.
What?
We'll be live on ESPN Plus.
What?
And we'll be having a great time talking about an NFL game happening ahead of us, a live show in Tuscaloosa happening the next day, and then full reactions to all football shit all year long. You are the greatest humans on earth for allowing us to do this for a living. We can't thank you enough. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We'll see you Thursday with the brand new era of the Pat McAfee Show. Same old stoogery. Goodbye.